Yeah, Prophet Marshall Occurrence. So, this video is going to be about multiple things, but I'm going to start with what's on my mind right off the cuff. Because these secret societies are going through a civil war, which is corny to me, that's not our problem. Because some of you decide to be on my side, and you think it's some type of thing where you can be on my side, they can be on my side, they can be corny over here, corny over there. Well, guess what, buddy? Listen, who's going to pick up anybody from over there? Who's going to think, well, I'll choose them over there. They decided to be on my side. They decided to be on my side. But you came from the same bums that caused all these problems. I'm sorry, buddy. You smell like them. You act like them. And most importantly, drum roll, you read minds like them. Why would I want you over here? So I don't care if you're going through a personal civil war among your little dumb secret societies. I choose no one from your side. You got it? Capiche? Everybody got it? Okay. Because I think you listen, I think you think I'm playing games, don't you? I'm not choosing any bums from that side. So I don't care what little corny civil war y'all got among yourselves, where you feel like, well, we don't agree with them. Well, that don't mean you can be over here. That doesn't mean you can come over here. You see the corniness in it? Well, we're going to be over here with him. Sorry, buddy. Not in this lifetime. In this lifetime, that group is marked for death. It's already set in stone. And just because you're having a civil war among yourselves, I have nothing to do with that, and I am not a bit 1% concerned about it. As far as I'm concerned, anybody that comes from over there mind reading and raping people's mind, listen, I have nothing to do with you. I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm not interested in who you are. I'm not interested in what you stand for, or who you are, what you want to do in the world, and I'm not interested in any of that. Okay? If I don't keep re-establishing this, there are people that would think they're on my side. Okay? I don't have anyone on my side. Okay? And that's how I like it. You know why I like it like that? Because I'm winning. And it feels so, people can't stand it. It feels so bad to them that it's one dude and he all by himself. See how I flipped around and he winning by himself. So somebody gonna try to come over here and get a little piece of that glory, and it ain't gonna work. Somebody gonna try to come over here and get the wins that I got, and it's not gonna work. Sorry, I stand alone, and anybody in their right mind know I'm gonna stand alone after I start winning. After I start winning, I'm gonna stand alone. Okay, so I don't have anybody on my side. Okay, I don't play cartoon games, childhood games, child's play. I don't do child's play. Okay, so there's nobody on my side. Okay, but God's people. That's all. Other than that, we don't deal with nobody else. Okay, that means white witches too, because you decided to be a white witch in your life, or a white whatever, white telepath, a white sorcerer, etc. Anything white, considered white, classified white, magic. Listen, bro, you're not over here with us. Okay? If you don't say that, people get corny, and they'll come over here like we're Casper the Friendly Ghost and Friends. Like we got this collaboration of different spirituality positions, and he's the Christian and I'm the white witch. No, buddy. We don't move like that. We deal with no one. Okay? We're God's true people. We don't collaborate with nobody. I got this. See how I got to take the time to do this? Cause lames and corny people. You should know this. You should know this. But you can't stand to be with the losers. You can't stand to be with the people that you started with. You can't stand to be with those who are doomed to fail. So you're gonna jock me and come over here jocking me, and it's not gonna work. That's that. So I don't care about the little civil war you're going through. I don't care about you being on the losing team and you want to come over here on the winning team and you jocking me. It's not gonna work. Do you understand? Okay. Now, the most important information, because we still have bullheaded people that think they're still on my side or whatever, or they just obsessing over me. There's a lot of people obsessing over me, obsessed with me. Okay, so here's how I'm going to do it. For those who choose to invade my personal space, thinking they're on my side, and you sitting back like you against them, I don't care if you're against them. You shouldn't be here. Okay, you understand? If you have nothing to do with it, then you walk away. But it's too interesting to you. So then you're an enemy because you're obsessed. That's why you're an enemy. Okay? I don't make any room for obsessed people. I don't make any room for people that think they're on my side and they're going to sit back and watch what happens and all this. No. You all are enemies. And that's what it is. That's what it is. You all are enemies. I don't have anybody that's on this side that I collaborate with and that stands back and supports my cause in its full capacity. You don't support my cause. See, how we know you're not on my side is because you don't support my cause. I do stuff. And you might not think I do stuff, but I do stuff. And I do stuff with money. Okay? Now, these bums around here, they do nothing with money. They don't have any money. And if they have any money, they don't know what to do with it. I know what to do with it. Okay? And if I don't know what to do with it, God shows me what to do with it. Okay? We're sending $500,000. I'm down there in South America. I'm working with that. My enemies, these little bums, they ain't dealt with nothing that has to do with $500,000 on their own. Nothing. That equation is not in their life ever. They can't tell you nothing about $500,000 until you start talking to rich people, rappers and singers, and they can go to them, but that ain't their life. Okay, they haven't dealt with $500,000 in any form or fashion or in any equation. I have. Okay, we on the roll. We on the roll. Low key, we on the roll. That's why I'm tripping off of them. Like, we on the roll. We don't care nothing about them same mediocre, redundant, mundane games they playing. Okay? We don't care nothing about that. They was doing that last year. They was doing that in 2023. They was doing that in 2022. We don't care nothing about that. That's 7 out. They was doing the same thing. So why would I pay any significant attention to that? I don't care. Okay? I just want people to know that if you got comfortable thinking you're on my side and you're thinking thinking it's a game, that listen, how would you think I would feel? I would want everybody out of my face. I'm not looking at the whole equation of the whole format is offensive. If you understand what formats are, go look up the term format. The format of this whole situation is offensive. So it doesn't matter if you're on my side, you think you're on my side, you think you're with me. The whole format is offensive. That's common sense. Anyone here, anyone around, any mind readers, any telepaths, all of it is offensive. Got it? Good. Okay? If you're obsessed, you're gonna suffer just like the enemy. Okay? I don't deal with obsession. Obsession is selfish. Obsession doesn't help me meet my goals. Okay? It doesn't. It does nothing for me. I can see if people were putting money in my hand, but they're not. Okay, so then I don't care about you. I don't care about your position. I'm not like these other Christians where I'm gonna just keep praying for you over. I'm gonna just try to help you and help you. No, I'm a prophet. Once I know the full capacity of what you've done, and I'm not gonna pray for you based on the full capacity of what you've done, from city to city as a community. There's no prayer for you here. Okay, I don't play any games. That's how you know. A game would be, oh, they could do all of this, and I'm gonna pray for them over here. I'm gonna try to help them. I'm not gonna try to help you. You play too many games for too long, and I'm at the point as a prophet. I don't care about what American Christians think, because them the same Christians that go out here and say they stand with America, and America's gay and lesbian in 50 states of the country of marriage, concerning marriage. Okay, so any Christians that vote are not anybody I even want to deal with. If you vote, I don't want to deal with you anymore. I'm sorry. Listen. I can't slow down, and I can't play games. If you're a Christian that is slow to the game, you know what I'm saying, where you don't know what's going on, okay, and you're still voting, you're still a part of America, I can't deal with you. I can't deal with you. As soon as you start talking about voting, as soon as you start talking about America, unsubscribe. I can't deal with it. We too far ahead to deal with people that's still behind, and they don't even know if America's the enemy or not. You should have discernment. See, you use discernment. Many of you use discernment for the wrong reasons. You use discernment only to try to expose somebody all the time. But you don't use discernment to try to see what's going on with America. And if you use discernment in the full capacity that you're supposed to use it, you wouldn't be confused about America. You will be combing through America with a fine-tooth comb, and you would see that these people have gay and lesbian marriage in all 50 states of America. How are you going to be a part of that? That's not gay people, that's gay laws. You understand the difference between gay people and gay laws? Okay, gay laws is what makes the nature of the country and what they stand for. The system and what it stands for. And you can't be a part of that system. Okay? Makes sense? I didn't say anything about gay people. I'm talking about America. See, if you're slow, you don't know the difference. Okay? You can't have anything to do with America because the system is gay and lesbian. Now, if it was gay and lesbian people here and they didn't have gay and lesbian laws, then you could be a part of America. But you can't be part of America if they have gay and lesbian laws. Okay? That doesn't please God. Okay? So then you can't be a part of that. Anybody confused? Okay? Ain't no person that followed Jesus. Jesus is our example, right? Jesus cannot strengthen the satanic kingdom. He cannot empower it. He cannot support it by votes, and then a politician goes on and pass more gay laws, more lesbian laws, and tranny laws, and everything else. God cannot have his hand in it where he will be responsible for the empowering of politicians who pass gay and lesbian laws. It can't be said that Jesus empowered that person. It can't be said that Jesus cast a vote to empower that person to go on and pass gay and lesbian laws. Jesus can't be guilty of that. And therefore, if you were his followers, you can't be guilty of that either. Okay? Now you understand. Now I broke it down. And I've talked to real good, wholesome, scholar level Christians, and they understand where I'm coming. Oh yeah. They understand where I'm coming from. That's right. Yeah. I've talked to wholesome, real Christians that get up there and preach, and they understand where I'm coming from. But see, the difference is everybody's not gonna pay the price to follow Jesus. because people are too scared to do it wholeheartedly. See, in the last days, you thought you and America was going to be hand in hand together. How? Why would you think that? So then you're going to have to separate. That's common sense. This is how you need to hear it. The devil is going to attack to push you, to put God's people on the outside. He don't want to give us nothing. He don't want to give us food, water, money, or nothing. And so, if God allows the mark of the beast to come, Satan is going to push everybody out of the system. This is ultimately what he's doing. And this is how I'm going to bring my point all the way home. When the mark of the beast comes, if you do not receive the mark, you can't get money, you can't get food, you can't get water, you probably can't even get water. You can't get no assistance. So the smart person knows that Satan ultimately is boxing. His ultimate goal is to box God's people out of the system. That's his ultimate goal. His ultimate goal is, if you don't understand where this is going, is he wants to box you and I that follow God out the system where we don't get nothing. And I'm talking about necessities. I'm not talking about entrepreneurship, a new vocation, a new degree, where you can get a new vocation. No. Ultimately, what you see with the mark of the beast is God's people is going to be boxed out, like in the wilderness, like animals running. No food, no money, no nothing. That's the ultimate goal of the satanic kingdom. So, with that being said, there has to be a beginning point, right? The beginning point is to where now the laws in the country is boxing God's people out the country. We had no choice. Satan knows, oh, well, God's true people, they can't vote no more. You got gay and lesbian marriage. How you going to vote? He's already boxing us out, and you don't see it. You see, that's why the prophets is necessary. He's already boxed you out. It's just not fully. When it's fully, you can't buy, sell, trade, nothing. If you're left behind, if you don't get raptured, you're gonna be left behind. And if you get your soul right, and you become a Christian, now, let's just say you was backslid or whatever, you realize the rapture happened. Okay, you get saved. That's a lot of people gonna do that. Now you on the run, and you're gonna be boxed out the system. That's the price you pay for not having your soul in the proper position. Now you get left behind. You receive Jesus Christ the Messiah. Yeah, you saved, but now you got to deal with this whole world and system. And they're going to box you out, which means you ain't going to get no food, you ain't going to get no water, you ain't going to get nothing. And you're going to be on the run for the rest of your life until the end of the world. Okay? So obviously there has to be a conditioning before that boxing out to that extreme happens, which is there's going to be other dynamics that we get boxed out of, which is now voting. We're now boxed out of voting. Now we're boxed out of voting because they have gay and lesbian marriage, and Jesus Christ cannot strengthen the satanic kingdom, and Christians can't strengthen the satanic kingdom. You no longer are concerned about that. Now you see we're in the real last days. Now you see how deep we into it. You see how deep we are into it. And you don't want to give credit. You don't want to look at it like that. But that's what it is. That's why the Americans are doing evil everywhere, because now it started. It started. They switched sides. They on the evil side. You can't tell the difference. That's what they done. They're over there now. They're not on the good side. It's the devil. He came in. See how you got to look at it. You always looking at man using his free will to serve the devil, instead of looking at the devil coming down and deceiving people. That part. It's a difference. That me running to a person running to serve the devil and the devil coming down. Oh, you realize he done got to him and deceived him. That's what happened. He done got to the Americans and deceived them. That's what it is. And so instead of looking at them like they used their free will and they were evil people and they decided to join the devil, look at it as the satanic kingdom came down and deceived these people, like Eve. Whatever he said to them, they over there with him now. That's all I'm saying. And whatever the devil said to them, they over there. That's how you got to look at it. The devil does deception. He comes in and deceives people. He comes into societies and deceives people on a whole nother level. It goes from level to level. Just like we go from faith to faith to glory, the devil comes in and deceives from level to level. That's all that you're dealing with right now. That's why you can't get through to him. That's why the best strategy is to keep what we have. God's people who we already got. That's the best strategy. It's because the deception is out here, buddy. And you already seen with Charlie Kirk, how he got killed, assassinated. That approaching the community time is over. That's what you get from that. Don't be dull in your discernment. People in America only use discernment to discern people. Use your discernment on events and everything. The main people say they so discerning ain't using it for America. You're not discerning when it comes to America. You're not discerning when you're looking at these events. You're not discerning when you're looking at all the stuff that's going on. In the mind readers, you ain't reading all this stuff that's going on in the world. So you're not using discernment to its full potential and capacity, and the prophet is. I see all that's going on. I don't care about no individuals no more. I don't care about nobody what they doing. I don't care. I'm using my discernment to see what's going on in the world. Yeah, I don't care about some random person. Who cares about a random person anymore? I'm saying in the context of what that person is doing and trying to expose. That time is over. Trying to expose some preacher or something. Who cares? I'm talking about this stuff going on right now. These wars, the food stamps barely hanging on. Well, all these people that's even in this building, listen, the food stamps barely hanging on. You might not. Hasa ain't this little program some of y'all got set up. This ain't gonna last no more than 10 more years. This is the end of this kind of stuff. And if you don't know that, now you know. So you enjoy, because this little free ride that everybody get here, and these little food stamps, the little setup they got here, I get that 10 more years max. By 2035, this is gone. I'm telling you. You'll be glad. Listen, you'll be lucky if it make it through the Trump administration. That's what time it is. Where you'll be depending on stored food from stored warehouses, standing in lines getting stored food and bundles of food. And if you're homeless, you ain't going to be able to eat half of it because you can't cook nothing. So you're going to be eating a whole bunch of processed food, chips and cookies. You're going to be on the streets eating chips and cookies because you ain't going to be able to cook nothing. Maybe some canned food, chicken breasts, sardines, stuff like that. Beans, uncooked beans, beans out the can, ravioli out the can. You're going to be eating ravioli out the can, buddy. You're going to be eating beefaroni. You want beef? Listen, you want beef, don't you? Oh, yeah, you're going to be eating beefaroni out the can, buddy. You want beef, you're going to get some beefaroni, buddy. You're going to get beefaroni out the can. You're going to get Chef Boyardee beefaroni. Well, I wanted beef. Okay, there goes beefaroni right there, buddy. Well, that wasn't my idea. Beef. Not the beefaroni. Not the beefaroni. You're going to get some beefaroni, ain't you? You about to get some beefaroni, buddy. Well, at least let me put some Parmesan on the beefaroni. At least let me put some cheese, some extra cheese on that beefaroni. You're going to be eating beefaroni, buddy, out the can. It's not a game. Them food stamps ain't going to last much longer. I'm telling you right now. If you don't see that, man, with all the how it's being attacked, it's going to be more attacks. Duh. Until it's gone. You're in a Republican, if you don't know what you're in a Republican Party, you're under a Republican Party administration. They don't think like Democrats. Don't you get it? Which means they don't care nothing about them food stamps. Because Republicans' philosophy and worldview is you're an able-bodied person. You should be out here working. You ain't got to be in tip-top shape psychologically. All you got to go and just go out there and work. Whether you bipolar, crazy, whatever. That's how they going to look at it. Well, you still can physically work. That's how they looking at it, buddy. That's how they looking at it. And if you can't, you need to be accounted for as crazy by going to get a Social Security check. And if you ain't doing that, then what kind of person are you? You can't even get a Social Security check. You can't even find yourself to go do that. You can't work. You can't. No. They're going to make an executive decision on you, buddy. Listen, by 2030, you don't think they're going to be making an executive decision for more people that's able-bodied, but then they not working, but then they ain't getting no SSI? You're going to have to go on over there and get SSI. You're going to have to get classified as SSI or go to work. You ain't going to be just sitting here. They already trying to get homeless people off the streets so they can have everybody under their surveillance. That's the whole reason. That's part of it. Because all these illegal migrants, they want everybody accounted for. They're going stark and mad crazy about the migrants more than you know. They want them people bad. Badder than they think about it. Read between the lines. Trump want them people way badder than you know, and how he projected himself on TV. You don't know how bad he want these people. He want them real bad. Read between the lines. He want them people bad, buddy. Okay? Because they know that's the spoiling of America if you have these illegal migrants running around doing crimes and doing... Think about it. It's something that people are biased about, but at the end of the day, it's not about race. If you have illegal people here just running around, that's the end of the country. Whether they black, white, whatever color they are, it don't matter. It's the dynamic. It's the reality of the dynamics of illegal people being here and running around, and they're not accounted for. See, if you take race away from it, then you see it clearly. You see what the problem is. You have people that's unaccounted for in this country. That's illegal. They're not. No one knows who they are, and there are hundreds of them here now because they were just pouring in with the Biden administration. And the reason why they was allowed to do that is because Democrats are pro-migrant, and it's okay to be pro-migrant, but not during a surge of illegal migrants coming into the country. That's not the time to be pro-migrant. But they were. That's why they didn't do anything about it. And that's what should anger you the most. They did nothing about it. They knew what was going on. The mayor, Eric Adams, was talking about how the country New York is going to break under pressure. Nobody paid attention. Nobody paid attention. He was already talking about New York is going to break. New York is going to be destroyed. Because all the migrants was coming in. He was talking about it. Even as a Democrat, he was still trying to talk about it. But ultimately, the Biden administration didn't do anything about it. They could have used... What you need to see now is what I was talking about before. I didn't know what the agency was that the Biden administration could use to get the illegal migrants back to their country. But now we know it's ICE, right? Biden could have used ICE before Trump even got in office. Biden could have used ICE starting back in April 2022. Almost 2 years before Trump got in office. And it was 2 years till the ball got rolling. About April 2025 is what? That's about when the ball got rolling with the ICE situation. So it was 2 years later that America responded to the migrants. The migrants had 2 years, basically. They had all of 2022 and all of 2023 and all of 2024. Well, actually 3 years. When you look at the full years, 2022, they was coming in. 2023, they was coming in. 2024, they was coming in. They had 3 years solid. This is why Biden is one of the worst presidents ever, man. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't got nothing to do with race. It got something to do with, see, if you could get past the race part, you could understand what's going on here. Okay? Because if it was any other race, Hispanic and Latinos wouldn't be saying nothing. If it was black people coming in, you know what I'm saying? They wouldn't care how we was treated. That's true. They ain't going to come out and protest about it. They ain't going to be blowing no whistles about it. No. They not going to do that. They going to do that for their own people. That's no disrespect. I'm just saying that's what it is. But as soon as it's them, okay, it's like the whole world is falling apart. No, it's not. The whole world is not falling apart. What it is it's a bias. You see how it is for how America treats your people, And I knew immediately. I knew eventually they was gonna mistreat Hispanic and Latinos. It was just a matter of time. It was just a matter of time, and now they are mistreating them. So but when you get past the element of your race, you will see the elements that you can't come here any kind of way. And right now, it's the worst time to come to America anyway. So you should be advocating, telling your people, instead of advocating against ICE, advocate against illegal immigration, because they trying to shut it down anyway. Look at what's happening. Now they shutting it down altogether. Now good people that want to come here can't come here because of illegal migrants. Now make that make sense for me. How can you vouch for illegal migrants when it stops proper migration to America for Hispanic and Latino people? Now the good people, the ones that would help this country, they can't even get here because of the illegal ones. Now I prove my point. Trump is stopping all these type of migrations because of illegal migration. So now the proper process has to suffer because of the illegal migration. Now, can you vouch for that? As a Hispanic or Latino, can you vouch for illegal migration over proper migration? Now that's being stopped. Now proper migration is being stopped. Now, what you gonna say about that? See, I knew this was gonna happen. You can't have people coming in and then our rights are not in danger. Now our rights are in danger because of illegal migrants, and your reputation as Hispanic Latinos, that's in danger. So then you got to say, okay, well, we can't lose all our reputation that we work for trying to help and vouch for illegal migrants. Nah, we can't do it because they can do it the right way and we won't have no problems. And nothing won't go wrong. They can come right over here the right way. How hard is it? How hard is it? It's just patience. It's just having patience, which a man or a woman got to have that. It's just having patience. That's all. Life is tough. Whatever is making you run over here. Listen, man. See, the truth is, man, people need to have God anyway. Down in Mexico, you need to have God. If you don't got God, then listen, hey. Listen, that's the first thing a preacher gonna tell you. You running from all these things, you need God. You running from danger in your community, you need God first. Then apply for migration while God is protecting you. Now, see, that's what I'm saying. So what you see is a lot of people that are just doing things without God, man. So see, it's always gonna lead to trouble. It's always gonna lead to trouble when you try to do things without God. And that's all we're seeing here. In a lot of different ways. And that way is no exception. People scared of the community, scared of their own community and everything in Mexico, and then you want to run for the border literally, you know what I'm saying? But you didn't have God. If you had God, you wouldn't be running for the border like that. You would go through the right process and get it done properly instead of running for the border. You know what I'm saying? That's a sign that you don't got God. That's what it is. That's something that only a preacher gonna show you. You know, you ain't got God. That's why you're running like that. You got God. You can listen to me. Look at me. I'm surrounded by all these haters and player haters and suckers. Do you see me moving? I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna stay right here and watch God destroy these people. That's it. They think I'm stupid. I'm gonna sit right here and watch. I know where I'm at. I know what's going on. I'm gonna sit right here and watch God destroy these people. I'm gonna show you the difference between an illegal migrant running from their country and a man of God standing right in his country, and I'm gonna watch God destroy all these people. See the difference? So I'm practicing what I preach. I'm in similar situations, but if you got God, He's going to destroy these people, whether they in Mexico or they here. Okay? That's the problem. You without God. That's why you're running like that. Think about it. Make it common sense. It's just people in the world without God, running all around, running from the evil that's in the world. That's what the first thing humans gonna do. You're gonna be running from the evil. If you ain't got God, you're gonna be running from all this evil. You're gonna be running from here, running from there. See, that's the people that's not the lions. I'm not saying it's a certain ethnicity. It's that they're not lions. A lion is gonna stand and anchor down and go to war. You know what I'm saying? But you know, a lot of people, you're going to see all these people scattering and dispersing, you know what I'm saying, because of all the evil that's in the world. That's why they want to come to America, because the evil is getting worse, and people are just running from the evil. But if you got God, man, listen, I hate to tell you, without God, running from evil, it's never going to stop. You're going to be on the run all your life, because the evil is everywhere. It's here too. Hate to tell you. It's here in America too, buddy. You know what I mean? Look at the dude who got killed in ICE custody, you know what I'm saying, after being here for like 20 or 30 years. He got so comfortable. Man, that's a cautionary tale. He was here for like 20, 30 years, and he got killed, ironically, in ICE custody. That's crazy. And he was here for like 20, 30 years. Can you imagine? He was just living it up, chilling and everything, working and everything. Living it up. He got put in ICE custody randomly. This is a random person. I mean, I don't think he was on the run. I don't think the people was aware of him. But you see where this is going, where everybody's on the run. That's where it's going. See, I knew the illegal migrants was going to put everybody's freedom in danger. All of our freedom is in danger now because of illegal migrants, which means they gonna beef up security, surveillance, and IDing people. They gonna get more sophisticated with IDing people because of the illegal migrants. They wasn't worried about none of this stuff until them people started coming over here in big surges and all of that. Now they worried about IDing everybody. Now they worried about seeing who everybody is and all. That's what I'm saying. And stupid people voted for Trump. Now you regret it. Now you renege on it. I'm pretty sure you do. When you got rappers like 50 Cent talking about maybe Trump is the answer. You feel like Trump is the answer now? Do you feel like he's the answer now? You feel like Trump is the answer now? Trump ain't the answer now, is he? 50 Cent feel like Trump is the answer? You feel like he's the answer now? Come on. Listen, bro. Listen. People think it's cool to go with these strong-armed Americans, that strong-armed situations, until it bites you in the butt. And you realize, oh, I don't think this is working to our advantage as black people. No, it's not working to your advantage. Because what you didn't realize, what 50 Cent didn't realize, is when you say, is Trump the answer, that's saying because he's a Republican, the Republicans are the answer. That's what you're saying. Because he's bringing the whole Republican Party with him. He ain't just bringing himself. And see, that's what dopey people didn't understand. Is when you elect Trump, you're electing the whole Republican Party to take over the House of Congress and to take over the local government. They gonna dominate all of that. they gonna once a Republican is the president, they gonna dominate the whole law system and everything. So when you say Trump is the answer, that's saying the Republicans are the answer. And unfortunately, you can harp on how, you know, Abraham Lincoln freed the slaves and he was a Republican. But we all know that the Republicans ain't freeing nobody now, so to speak. They ain't for black people no more. Oh, we know that. We look at it, what we base that on. We base that on the laws that they pass and what they stand for. And they don't stand for laws that help you and I. Okay, so when you put Trump in office, you're saying the Republicans are the answer. Because what you thought is he going to just strong arm things for the right, better cause of things, if that makes sense. You thought he was just going to strong arm things and make things good, right? I get it. But, however, Trump brings in the whole Republican Party. Okay? Which means they're doing other little laws and doing other little stuff besides Trump. Trump ain't the only one doing something. When he comes in, he brings the whole Republican Party with him, and they doing all kind of other little laws on local levels and national levels. And it's not just Trump. And then when things have to get passed, most likely when the Republican is in office, they gonna dominate the House of Congress. Which means when we try to get something passed, yay and nay, the Republicans are going to be the ones that stop it because Trump is in the White House and they dominate the House of Congress. See, I just dug into politics after Barack Obama. I took an interest into it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how long I've been kind of studying politics, since Barack Obama. But before him, I didn't have any interest in politics. I wasn't even watching CNN. But once he got in office, I took interest to it, and I just started to watch. All this stuff. But I was paying attention to, always kind of to a certain degree, me being from North Carolina. That's just how we are. We're going to sound the alarm on things. You know, we're going to sound the alarm on foolishness. We're going to sound the alarm on the Republicans, and we're going to sound the alarm in North Carolina on anything going on. We're going to be, in other words, you're going to have your family talking about it, people in your family. You're going to, you know, that's how we do, even as black people in North Carolina. We're going to talk about all this stuff going on. So I remember back when 9/11 happened, I was 20 years old. I remember when Iraq, the invasion of Iraq, I was 22 years old. 21 actually. I was 21 when they invaded Iraq and all of that, talking about weapons of mass destruction and all of that. Didn't find none, you know. And I was watching all of that. See, you don't need to worry about me being normal, okay? Cause I know you a clown. Okay, ain't nobody an alien, and ain't nobody Bigfoot, ain't nobody no abominable snowman or Loch Ness monster. Y'all are clowns. Okay, you didn't know that you wasn't the only one that was spiritual. You ain't the only one that got spirituality. So, cause you couldn't beat me, you gotta demonize me. I'm more human than you by my worldviews and my activity. Your activity is alien, like reading people's minds, watching and stalking around people. That ain't no normal human being. So it's, after all, it's you that's alien-like and abnormal. I'm talking about these secret societies. Yeah, you don't even act like a normal human. You can't be serious. So that's what I'm saying. You can say whatever you want, but I ain't got to do all of that. And that's the point. I proved it. Okay, I can beat my enemies, and I ain't got to act like an alien. I'm a normal person. I talk about politics. You see what I talk about? I don't talk about no spaced out alien vibration and spirituality all the time. See, a Christian don't talk about no spirituality all the time. Only them weirdos they the only ones talk. Even a Christian, I don't talk about spirituality all the time, because see, there's more than one dynamic to spirituality, which is information and knowledge and awareness. And revealing things. I can go on and on. The different chapters of spirituality. It's not just spiritual virtue, spiritual power. That's not the only element. So if you see somebody with the one element, that's at the bottom of the food chain. That's why we don't have no affiliation with them. Because the only thing they doing is psychological, spiritual stuff. That's the bottom of them scrubs, them shrubs. You know what I'm saying? That's food. On the food chain. That's food, man. That's dinner. We lions over here. We attack politics and things, real things that's going on in the real world. That's how you know we at the top of the food chain. That's why the government always wanted the prophets, because we at the top of the food chain. We don't just do spirituality. We talk about wisdom, knowledge, and information. We don't just run around with no spirituality. So that's why I got to differentiate myself from people that's at the bottom of the food chain as far as the spirituality goes. Because see, if you were so high ranking, you'd be talking like me. You couldn't help it. I can't help it. It's who I am. You know what I'm saying? I can't just sit here with spirituality. I have to talk and show you my rank. I speak and my rank is expressed through my words. If I hear your mouth and you ain't got no rank, you ain't as powerful as you think you are. No, you're not. Because if you was, God will be using you to speak concerning things that's going on. If you was that high ranking, you would be talking about politics. You'd be talking about all this stuff. That's why I doubt to rank a lot of these preachers. Because if you was that high ranking, you would be over here. You couldn't help it. You would be in politics. Whether it was right or wrong to people. Because you are the center that nourishes the community, that informs the community, that exposes things that's going on. You can't help it. Jesus Christ wouldn't be able to help it if he was here. He would be talking about all this stuff going on. He ain't gonna be just sitting around spiritual, talking to God, to Christians, and that's it. He couldn't help it. He gonna be talking about all these things going on. So then that's how we figure out who's ranked, who got the highest rank. It ain't just anointing. No, what's coming out your mouth? No, because if you was really high ranking as you claim to be, God would use you to nourish humanity. God would use you to inform humanity. God would use you to expose these things in humanity. You wouldn't be sitting around with this high, powerful anointing and you ain't talking about nothing. It don't work like that. That's how I figured it out. That's how I figured out the real rank. I was just like everybody else, going by what people say about these anointings and all of that. But then I realized that God, if God was really on you like that, he would utilize you. He would use you to speak on everything because you're that powerful. You will be talking about everything. Why you think I'm out of pocket? Nope. I'm anointed. I'm high ranking. I'm going to be talking about everything. And that's how we know who's high ranking. If you ain't talking about everything, but you gassed yourself. I'm talking about the psychic people, the telepath people. You gassed yourself, bro, because listen, if you were so high ranking, you would be talking to the people. You couldn't help it. It would be out of your control. You don't get it, do you? It would be out of you wouldn't even be able to help it. Because the power that's overtaking you is going to be talking about all these things. You don't get it, do you? What you think these people need to be talking about? Migrants, these illegal migrants, the Trump administration, these wars that's going on. Now, the low-ranking people, what they doing? Playing around your head, throwing psychological games. That's how you know they low-ranking, man. That's how you know. Look where their mind is at. Look what they're doing. And look what I'm doing. Am I really talking about them? No. I don't care about them. They're irrelevant. They want to be relevant, but they're irrelevant. They're not relevant anymore. Them secret societies, Freemasons, and Illuminati is not relevant. No, they're not. They trying their best to be relevant at my expense. It's not going to work. Nobody wants to know who you are, and no one cares. They know you made a mess of things, and you're a fool. That's all. Now they listening to the prophet. You know why? Because I'm high ranking. I'm going to catch your attention. Because the power that's in me is going to address all these issues. So if you claim to be so powerful, I'm going to listen to your mouth. And if you ain't talking about national to international laws and different things that's going on, nah. It's not you. If you're the chosen one, you're going to be talking about politics and everything. That's why everybody talking about they chosen one. Well, why you ain't talking about all this stuff going on with Trump? Because you classified it as politics. I classified it as a prophet, as things that need to be addressed by God's people. See the difference? You classified as racism. I classified as things that need to be addressed that's done to black people. That's That's why the real true prophet cannot be just, talking to just Christians. I can't do it. I can't help it. And that's just how Jesus is. Jesus is going, he going to be talking about all these things going on. Yeah. Yeah. But everybody's high ranking. Yeah, in your mind. The true test is God will make you a center. Right? As a center of the spiritual world in the world where everyone gets nourishment. If nobody's being nourished by you, how are you a center? A center nourishes the humanity, not just one country. See, you scared. You can't even be a chosen one. You scared to go to talk to people outside of America. You scared to engage people outside of America. Did we talk about true, real chosen ones that goes to all the world? Not to go riding around America. Nah, there ain't no chosen one. You see, because by now you'll be talking to other countries. You couldn't help it. I talk to other countries. I talk to Russians. I talk to people in Russia that live in Russia. Huh? I'm dealing with people in South America. I'm dealing with people in Jamaica. People in Jamaica know me. That's a center. That's a chosen one. People know me in Jamaica. People know me in Russia. People know me in South America. Huh? It's not about the fame. It's about you being a center. If you're high ranking, God's going to utilize you to the world. That's common sense. That's what comes with it. You ain't going to be high ranking and just sitting around. America, no. So when I see people getting out of America, I know you're high ranking. You're free. You're high ranking. Because ain't no way in the world you're going to sit up in America and talk about you high ranking. Come on, man. You got to come out. I already did. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not comparing myself to people, but I'm not saying it's certain people, but it's out there. It's people that think they high ranking. It's all in their head. You know what I'm saying? But the proof is in the pudding when you see people outside the country. When you're known outside the country. That's what Jesus wouldn't just be subject to no America. He would be all, especially with the internet, Jesus will be all over the internet talking to people everywhere in the whole world. Places you ain't even thought about. Jesus on live somewhere way you don't even know. Some country you don't even know about. Talking to somebody about Yahweh. Okay? That's why I don't even care about an American audience anymore. It's not that because I ain't getting it. It's because I don't care about it. I'm looking at the whole world. I'm looking at the whole biggest scheme of things, if you will. These wars that's going on. You know what I'm saying? So if you ain't addressing these things like this, man, and you think it's because it's politics, no, man, you going to address real problems. That's basically it. And it don't matter if it's politics or what it is or what it's classified as. That's how I know people ain't as high ranking as they claim to be, because you wouldn't be classifying politics as politics. You would look at politics as problems in the government, watching these government people that's over us. That's how you would be looking at it. Because ultimately, they the ones that control this situation. How you ain't going to be talking about that? And they controlling this situation. See, people classify that as a person that's in the politics. That's simple-minded. That's being simple-minded. I'm addressing anything that's a problem. How about that? I'm addressing anything that's a problem, including the Trump administration. That's what a prophet going to do. A prophet ain't going to talk about Trump. You tripping. A prophet going to talk about Trump. Yes, sir. All this stuff going on, blowing up boats and stuff. You don't feel the need to talk about that. See that part right there? See that part right there? And that's why God's people are on point. That's why some of them still with America. Because see, if you had been playing your position as a true anointed high-ranking person, you would have been talking about Trump. You wouldn't be scared to talk about him. People think I'm stupid. Well, he just don't know. He talking too much. Well, what? I supposed to. I supposed to talk this much. That's what comes with it. You ain't gonna find no prophet sitting up quiet all day in the bed. It's not gonna happen. If I can do something about it. You ain't gonna find no prophet just, well, I do a message every once in a while. Really? But you got this prophetic power in your belly, and you gonna just do a song, you gonna do a little video every once in a while. Come on, man. That's why I ain't paying no attention to other people, how they looking at it based on YouTube and what I'm doing on YouTube. I don't listen. I'm doing this. I'm a prophet. I'm doing this the way God want me to do it. I'm doing this based on what I feel in my soul. I ain't going along with no YouTube format and the likes and the shares and subscribe. I mean, you can do that, but the truth is, I don't want a big crowd anyway. I just want the right people to ignite the fire throughout this country, which is usually the leaders. You know what I'm saying? The real politicians, the street politicians. You know what I'm saying? Even them. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm trying. I mean, because I ain't trying to get no trolls to the point where I get trolls and all that. I don't need that. Because I don't need to be dealing with no trolls. I don't need to be dealing with no person talking about something they don't know what they talking about. Think about it. I don't need to be dealing with that. That's why I stopped worrying about an audience. Because the truth is, I don't need all, because it's going to come with trolls. People that know I'm right and just want to be a problem. Okay? Can sense that you're right and still want to be a problem. I don't need that. I don't need it. Because you know I'm a challenge half of it. And then you can't take half of them seriously. So then what? You can't take them seriously. But but you gotta shut them down. I see people shutting them down and kicking them out of lives and all of that. People doing that. That's all they're doing. God's people kicking people out of lives. See, I don't need to be going through that. I need to be uninterrupted. I need to not be interrupted. And I can say whatever I need to say. Okay? This is like the illegal migrants came in. Me personally, I don't have anything against the illegal migrants. Hispanic and Latinos. That's common sense because I'm just too connected. You know what I'm saying? I got people on the West Coast, Mexicans on the West Coast that I deal with in California and Los Angeles, and I got Latinos that I deal with down in South America in Colombia. So in Peru too. So Peru and Colombia, that's what I've been dealing with all this year. So it's not a Hispanic or Latino thing. It's basically when they get utilized by these secret societies and then they bring liabilities on their own people, then they want to act like we being racist. No, it ain't nobody being racist. You're misinterpreting the behavior, the corresponding behavior after you play games. We going into spiritual war with these Americanized Hispanic and Latinos. Not every single person, but those who was with the Freemasons and those who was with these other secret societies. We going to war with them. They cause liabilities for their whole community. Now that's the proper interpretation of what happened. Okay, they know what they did. You don't even know me. You came around here playing with me as Hispanics and Latinos, and I'm a black man. How you find your way to play with me? Huh? I'm not in Hispanic neighborhoods. I can see if I was living in the Bronx. Okay, then I would probably most likely be in Puerto Rican's politics. But how am I in your politics? That's what I'm saying. Make it make sense. Because you decided to go with these bums out here that in these secret societies, and you took their money and you took whatever they gave you. Okay, then that's the reason why. So don't blame me when I respond the way I respond. Okay, you can't make a fool of me. I can make a fool of you. Okay, you came out here and you joined them people, then you want to act like somebody is against you. That's a clown. You a clown. What you expect to happen? I supposed to just me and you go to war mano a mano. Listen, buddy. Let me tell you something. Let me give you a quick summarized perspective and worldview and ability of a prophet. If you use you got to listen to every single word I say. If you use a significant number of Hispanics and Latinos against a prophet, I have spiritual legal right to curse Hispanic and Latinos as an entire community. That's how it works. And in the process of that, when you use the significant number, that's the key term, not 3 Latinos. You use hundreds of them. Okay, so then how is that not going to bring a liability back on Hispanic and Latinos? Oh, I'm supposed to find out which ones. I supposed to figure out which ones out there. Nobody ain't gonna do that. You wouldn't even do that. If you seen a significant number of black people playing with you, you gonna curse black people. That's what you gonna do. Because you've seen enough people to where you see your name and likeness is in their community in politics, and you gonna curse them as a result of your likeness and your name and your likeness being in their politics, and it don't make sense, and you gonna curse the whole community. Because you don't know who to trust in there, right? You don't know who's who in there. You know it's a significant number, and you need to bust it all up, don't you? Exactly. You ain't gonna say, well, I think it was 5 of them. I'm gonna curse 5. No. You see them talking here, there, everywhere. You realize the full capacity of what's going on, right? Right. And so what your corresponding action gonna be to the full capacity of all this stuff you see out here, and you see all these people in your politics, what you gonna do? You gonna curse the whole community. It don't seem right, but it is right. Because you covering all your bases. You don't know what's going on out there. Once you see a significant number, a streetwise person gonna say, I don't know what's going on out there. I don't know the full capacity, in other words. I don't know how much of it is out there that's against me. So what I'm gonna do if I don't know how much is out there? What you gonna do? You see a significant number of people that you do know, and you don't know how far that's going out there. You don't know what they really doing and talking about. What you gonna do? You gonna curse the whole community. That's what you're gonna do, buddy. See, the truth is, I've been through something that you don't even have a reference point to as Americans. This is back to Americans, period. You don't even have a reference point to somebody like me. So how can you put your mouth on what I should do when you can't even find me somebody that's been through this? So you just giving me all the perfect answers of how I should respond, but you can't show me another man that respond according to your likeness that you could use as a reference point. You can't find me one man that and say, well, he did it like this. This the way we expect you to do it. Show me that person. You don't got no reference point to a person like me. So then you giving me all the perfect answers of what you would do and how you would respond, but you can't show me nobody that done it like that. Show me somebody that done it like you talking about. But they gotta first go through it. So all you doing is looking and speculating and player hating and spectating, talking about what I should do. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't in my shoes and walking in my shoes. And that includes black people and how I should respond to them. All these black people they used against me. And what should I do? What should I do? Knowing how black people plot and scheme and conspiring each other, what I should do? I'm going to have to do something listen to this. I'm going to have to do something that a black man has never done before. If something is being done to me, that has never been done to a black man by black people, what's the odds that I'm going to just do something you can understand? They ain't doing nothing you can understand. So it's going to call for a response that you don't understand. If they doing stuff that you don't understand as black people, how am I going to have this normal, cool, collected kind of response? That's common sense. That's understanding mathematics and equations. If they give me a bogus, crazy equation, that's going to create an abnormal reaction. You don't understand mathematics according to life, do you? Not 1, 2, 3. Spiritual mathematics, where you get what you deserve. Karma. Spiritual mathematics. Huh? Where you do this and this happens, and this is the sum total of what you get based on the equation of what you put out into the community. And ain't nobody can manipulate it when God is in the equation being on my side. Then you lose, buddy. You definitely gonna get the sum total of what you deserve. It ain't gonna be no manipulation. See, when a man is without God, then you can manipulate to a certain degree. But when he is with God, you can't manipulate. And that's what the Americans are going crazy about. You know why? Listen, you're used to men without God, and you can easily manipulate. In fact, you can take advantage of what they doing because they ain't with God. So you can catch them out there slipping. doing all the things they doing, the vices that they got and everything like that. You go out there and manipulate out there and you beat them. You know what I'm saying? But when you got a man with God and you can't catch him slipping out there, you know what I'm saying? You don't know what to do. And then God gonna work it all out anyway, for real. And you're gonna see, hey, we couldn't manipulate. We couldn't manipulate in that situation. See, that's what you're learning for the first time, and I'm glad it's happening to you as Americans, because that's all they used to doing. Is when there's somebody like me, they used to manipulating out here in the community. Now you can't do it. Yeah, you can't do it now, sucker. No, you can't do it. God is doing miracles, and He just waiting for somebody to jump. He gonna tear you totally out the frame. Tear you totally out the frame, buddy. Don't ever get it twisted. The calm and the peace that you feel. Listen, God strikes like a cobra, buddy. When you think it's all good, ooh, that's gonna leave a mark. That's gonna leave a mark on the mark, ain't it? That's gonna leave a mark on the mark. That's gonna leave a mark on the mark. So you thought I was a mark? Yeah, how you feel about that now? You thought I was somebody to play with, some little mark that you would play. Man, listen, you was a joke. You little bastards was a joke the whole time. You was a joke the whole time. I never took you seriously. Cartoon bastards. You little cartoon. That's why you in the situations you in now. Being a cartoon out here. Think people scared of the streets? I don't care about the streets no more. I'm a prophet. Why would I care about the streets? If anything, they want to be like me. Yeah. Hey, they ain't gonna admit it, but they want to be like me, because listen, how I've won and beaten the Americans. You don't tell me you don't want part of my energy to be part of your persona. Yeah. I now embody a persona that many people want to possess. I'm one of them type of dudes. Yeah, I done worked up to beyond winning. Now people want to carry my persona. Just like Pop, just like Big, just like the rest. Malcolm X, MLK, now people want to embody my persona. That's what level I'm on. That's why I wouldn't dare try to emulate somebody else. I'm not Tupac, I'm Marcello. I'm me. I got my own lane, I got my own numbers, I got my own credibility in things I've done that nobody else have done. I don't got to stand in the shadow of other people. And listen, you listen, you can't use them way down the line like that's what's gonna beat me, and they ain't done what I've done. Tupac didn't say nothing about child marriage laws in America. It was out there then. It was in the whole country the whole time. Tupac was talking about everything, even Donald Trump. He was talking about everything. He said not one time anything about child marriage laws. Nope. Wasn't taught it by nobody else, didn't hear it from nobody else. That's what makes the prophet stand out, whether you want to accept it or not. Tupac ain't never talk about no child marriage. He said death to child molesters, but yet at the same time, he gonna hit them up. He gonna say my fofo will make sure none of y'all kids don't grow. He contradicted himself, which every human being gonna do that. Okay, but before that, on the Are You Still Down album, he talking about death to child molesters. But then when we go to another album, Hit 'Em Up, the song Hit 'Em Up, he talking about my fofo will make sure none of y'all kids don't grow. He talking about killing kids with a fofo, with a 44 caliber gun, which is overkill for a kid. A 44 good big pistol will leave an exit wound the size of a little basketball, the size of a grapefruit. That's about right. Leave the exit wound the size of a grapefruit. Go in one way, big hole in the back. Okay? Tupac talked about my fofo will make sure none of y'all kids don't grow. That's saying stopping the growth of the kids. That's common sense. With a gun. And y'all missed that part, didn't you? Tupac talked about killing kids. Do I need to spell it out? I guess I do. My fofo will make sure none of y'all kids don't grow. That was said out of absolute hate and anger. It was real. That was real. Yes, it was. It was said out of full anger. That was when Tupac was at his angriest. And the crazy part is, Biggie, the most bizarre part was Biggie didn't even do nothing to him. Nobody was even saying nothing. That's the funniest part. I mean, what hit him up? Where the energy came from? Biggie wasn't doing nothing. See, I'm gonna keep it 100. That's probably why some people did think Tupac was bipolar. You can kind of see, I can see why people would think that, because he swung from one extreme to the other. Then he was talking about being suicidal, and then one moment he talking about good things, and then another moment he got these swings. You know what I'm saying? He was never just cool. Tupac was to one extreme, all up, yeah, or he was happy, yeah, let's do that, blah, blah, blah. Those the same mood swings of a bipolar person. You ain't never hear him just, you know, kind of how Snoop talk, right? How Snoop is just kind of collected, you know, you ain't never hear Tupac talk like that. Snoop talk like, you know, we gotta do this, and you know, I do that, and I was over there the other day, and you ain't never heard Tupac talk that calm and relaxed. So I can see why people would think he's bipolar. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying it is. It's true. I don't diagnose people. But I'm just saying that's just food for thought. You know what I'm saying? But because it just didn't make no sense. Biggie didn't even say nothing. I mean, what? So where's the response coming from? I mean, where's the energy coming from? He ain't done nothing. So you see how empty really hit him up. Look, who is it towards that deserves that energy? You're lying talking about you had sex with Faith. It's a fake song from the beginning. From the very beginning. That's the first thing he said. That's why I F'd your bitch. Okay, but you didn't. That part. So it's fake from the beginning. That's all I'm saying, man. No, he ain't having sex with no Faith, man. No. But see, it's hard to believe because Tupac was having sex with so many women. But if you're smart, that's what made him even think to do that. Because he's a ladies' man. So I'm going to think about the ladies in the situation, in Biggie's situation, which is Faith. Because he already thinking about women all the time. That part, right? So I'm going to think about that woman in your life. And I'm going to attack that. Because I'm always thinking about women. So that's how that part panned out. But you can look at it the other way. Like he had sex with all these other women. He probably had sex with Faith. No, he had a worldview of having sex with all these women. Which he expressed. I'm trying to see how many women I can go through. He done said that before. You know what I'm saying? But I just think, I mean, Tupac had heart and everything like that, but I think some things were fabricated. You know what I'm saying? I think some things was, but that's what comes with being a superstar. You know, that's what comes with being a thug. But when you come, a thug, that's a rapper and a star. But when you look at principles among principles, that's what we gonna judge. That's what the real masters gonna judge on the streets. We gonna look at your principles. We gonna look at your rules and regulations, and if you said that you had sex with Faith and you didn't, we taking points off. You said my fofo will make sure none of y'all kids don't grow. Okay, you contradicted yourself. You didn't have to say that. You could have scratched that. You could have came back and did something else at that part in that song. You didn't have to put that out, but you liked the energy. He liked the energy on it. He liked his voice and how angry he was on that song. That's why he wanted to keep it. He didn't have to. That's what make it worse. He went back and listened to it. He went and let other people listen to it. He had plenty of time to take that. My fofo will make sure none of y'all kids don't grow. He had plenty of time to take that off, and he didn't. So when you talk about Tupac and if you insinuating when he talking about death to child molestation, I'm gonna pull you right back up to hit him up when he talking about killing kids himself. Okay, that's number one. Number two, for Biggie, on Biggie's song, What's Beef? What did Biggie say? Don't you know my nigga kidnapped kids? F them in they act, throw them over the bridge. He say, don't you know my niggas kidnapped kids? And they ass throw them over the bridge. What you think he talking about? Not only did Biggie talk about killing kids. He talked about somebody having sex with him. And how you know it was kids? Because a smart man reads between the lines on the sex act. Anal sex. Pretty sure that's what they reference to kids. Don't you know my nigga kidnapped kid, F him and they throw him over the bridge? I can show you your best talked about killing kids. Tupac and Big. I've been talking about this on the streets of New York. I've been talking about this on the streets randomly to people in New York. Just in case you thought I just got started, just in case you think I'm saying that out of malicious jealousy or something like that, or trying to ascend to a throne that I don't care nothing about, because I ain't trying to ascend to no rapper's legend throne or something like that. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's got something to do with people contradicting themselves. You know what I'm saying? And the culture sitting back acting like they own something they not really own, because if you was on it like that, you would have been said something about both of them. You would have been said something about Pac and Big when you grew up. Now, when you're young, you don't, whatever, because I grew up on that, right? I was like 16 when I heard both of those songs. You know what I'm saying? I was a teenager when I heard them songs. But, because I grew up in the 90s. You know what I'm saying? So, but when I grew up, I'm like, oh, wait, hold up. You talking about killing. My fofo make sure none of y'all kids don't grow. That's, even if you ain't telling the truth, that's not a good message to put out, because some people going to take it seriously. Some people going to do exactly what you talking about. They going to say, well, Tupac talked about my fofo making sure none of y'all kids don't grow. I'm just on that level of Pac. Some lame nigga, And then the same thing with Biggie. The people say, well, Biggie talking about kidnapped kids, anal sex, and throwing them over the bridge. That's what we doing. It's people out, like you might be strong enough not to do that, but it's people out there will emulate that kind of that behavior, and they'll feel it's justified because my favorite rapper, Tupac or Biggie, they said that. You know what I'm saying? So, you don't want to talk about these real issues because ain't nobody say nothing about it. Nobody say nothing about Biggie talking about kidnapping kids and having, but then all of a sudden now y'all a country that protects children. But you can find people sit back and talk about how much a legend that Pac was and Biggie was, but y'all ain't, I don't find no interviews. I ain't found no words. Maybe it's out there, but I ain't never heard nobody talk about Tupac talking about my fofo will make sure none of y'all kids don't grow. That's a direct threat to people's kids. He said it on recordings, on the studio recordings, and sent it all around the world. It's everywhere. It's still everywhere. People listen to Hit 'Em Up right now. Man, I know they are. On YouTube, it's getting views right now, buddy. For whatever reason. Some people probably listen to it because they got enemies and they, they listen to that right now. But similar situations where they did actually have sex with somebody's woman. Different things like that, Listen, man, this is how I feel, bro. This is how I feel. Y'all never addressed Tupac for talking about killing children. Call it how it is. Y'all did never address Biggie for doing the same thing. They both did. It's ironic. They both come from two different worlds, basically, and they both said the same thing. Both made the same mistake. Biggie said Biggie's was worse because Biggie was talking about anal sex and throwing them over the bridge and everything. Don't you know my kidnapped kids? Throw them over the bridge. See, I grew up on it. Now explain that. You can't. And that's at the top of the street politics. And from the West Coast to the East Coast. Now what you gonna do? That's all I'm saying, bro. That's all. And you can't say it's fake. You can't, because even if it was, it went out to the whole community, and it should have never went out as a message to the community. So it don't matter if it was real or fake. It don't matter if they had intentions of doing it or not. They put the message out there. That's what we talking about. They put the idea out there. That's what we looking at. And ain't nobody that bad. You see what I'm saying? But that's what they did. You could say it was the type of selling their soul to being evil. You know what I'm saying? Like, not selling your soul per se, but you being as evil as you possibly can. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's letting you get away with it. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I don't take you seriously. as a black community, because you'll sit up there and talk about Pac and, eat chicken and talk about Pac. Might as well say, yeah, Pac back in the day. Sitting up there eating chicken talking about Pac. Sitting up there eating chicken talking about Biggie. But yet you won't talk about them both saying killing kids. You ain't gonna talk about it. So then I ain't gonna take you seriously when you act like you protect children so much. When you sit up and listen to Hit 'Em Up a million times, you listen to What's Beef a million times, and you ain't say nothing a million times. You had no response a million times. You never had no response. You never said nothing. As a collective community, so I don't take that seriously. Nope. Because I can show you your best. Those you really love became monsters. You know what I'm saying? But see, that's how it really is. And that's where it gets tricky. That's how it really is, man. Because when it comes to your kids and stuff, and you the ops, people don't care. Pac didn't care. Biggie didn't care. They don't care, and I'm no exception. But you tried to make me an exception. But I can go back and show you how Biggie and Pac was the same way. Because it comes to a point, man, maybe you haven't had beef like that. Maybe you haven't had problems. You know what I'm saying? So you don't know where you don't care about people's kids. At a certain point, no. But because you ain't been through that kind of stuff, you don't know no better. I can show you military who has no regards for the enemy's kids. Israel, look at Israel. Look at all they did to Gaza. Over 18,000 kids dead. Thousands of kids dead. They don't care. This man act like he has no compassion. Benjamin Netanyahu has no compassion. You don't see no sorrow about this stuff. That's what I'm saying. Dead. Cause he don't care, because that's his ops, his enemies. He ain't gonna care. You ain't gonna care about your enemies' kids. Real warriors know, man, that comes with it, man. They ain't gonna broadcast it, but most likely, man, you ain't gonna really care about their kids. No. You know what I'm saying? But you want to play with me because you corny. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of people that's corny. You want to try to point out stuff, but then I go show you your best to do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So because I'm gonna expose you as corny either way it go. I'm telling you, I know. You say you know what you know. I know what I know. I know you corny. You know what I'm saying? How I know? Because you ain't addressing none of the stuff that I'm talking about. You marrying children in America, you ain't never addressed that. Pac didn't never talk about it. The prophet don't get his proper respect for it. I'm the only one. I'm the only one that talked about it. You can't show me nobody else. You can't show me no basketball players, no rappers, no boxers, no entertainers, no comedians. Anybody. Eddie Murphy didn't say nothing about child marriage in America. Eddie Murphy didn't say nothing about no child marriage laws. You name them. Ice Cube didn't say nothing about child marriage laws. You name them. Who you want to name? Snoop. Snoop didn't say nothing about it. Suge Knight didn't say nothing about marrying children in America. Who else you want to name? Master P. Master P didn't say nothing about no child marriage laws. Who else? Who you want to name? Lil Wayne didn't say nothing about child marriage laws. He made a song Misunderstood talking about child molesters, but how he dropped, where he really did, I ain't gonna say he dropped the ball, but he ain't say nothing about child marriage. So see how it's incomplete? It's incomplete because while Wayne was sitting around smoking on the song, I had the album. I had the Carter 3 album, right? So everybody remember that song where Wayne was on there, and it's believable. That's real, but it's not the real reality when we realize we marrying children in America. You see what I'm saying? Now you got the real reality, the full reality. You know what I'm saying? That's the real reality. And then, if Wayne knew that, he would address the song totally different. You would have to. Okay, you acknowledge child molesters in the neighborhoods, and you got kids and all that, et cetera, et cetera. But then you got to acknowledge child marriage in the government. These people marrying children in the government. These people get laws to marry children. They made new laws since that song that Wayne made. July 1st, 2019, the Trump administration was in the White House when they made new laws to marry children. They made new laws to do it. This is still going on. And I'm the only one talking about it. That's what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? So my perspective of, like, y'all might sit around, smoke weed and think about these child molesters. I'm gonna sit back and drink and think about the whole country marrying children. That's what I'm looking at. Seeing you in that little lane, that tunnel vision of these certain type of people that's having sex with these children, because you don't realize the real reality. And my perspective is, my worldview in reality is, this whole country has been marrying children the whole time, as young as 10 years old. As young as 10 years old, bro. So you can't say it's just teenagers. That's what they're going to try to sell you on. It's just teenagers. No, it's not. You can go look it up. In Tennessee, in the state of Tennessee, America allowed men to marry 10-year-old girls. 10. What grown man thought, I don't care if you're in your 20s or not, what grown man thought about marrying a child at 10 years old? And what government would allow a man to marry a child at 10 years old? Your government, the American government. You see what I'm saying? So see, that's my perspective on all this stuff. You know what I'm saying? While everybody got this tunnel vision focused on these certain people in the community doing it, and you know, these individuals or these certain people doing it, these registered sex offenders, I'm looking at child marriage in the country. So how can he be a registered sex offender when y'all marrying children over here? That's what I'm talking about. Marrying children over here, but this guy, he got to get registered for doing the same thing. That's what I'm looking at. It couldn't be me. If I was a child molester, I would look at the country marrying children. Well, y'all doing the same thing. The state of New York had child marriage the whole time. You just got rid of it. It's too late. From 2011 to 2019, you had 385,496 cases of child marriage in the state of New York alone. That means those kids are still in those relationships with those people. Even though they got rid of it, it didn't make invalid the child marriage. The child marriage is still valid, even though it just ain't nobody else can do it. But they ain't making invalid all the kids that's married to these people. You can't believe it. But see, that's what people hung up on. See, the soldier gonna adapt. Okay, man, boom. That blindsided me. I didn't know my country was doing that. Okay, but it is what it is. It's just like the streets. Okay, you got somebody doing something underhanded that you thought was on your side. Okay, what you gonna do? Stay stuck on stupid? Oh, okay, this is what this person really is. Okay, boom. You gonna adjust to it. So I expect street dudes to adjust to it. Just like you would adjust to anybody on the street, stabbing you in your back, you know what I'm saying, snaking you, you know what I'm saying? You gonna adjust to it instantly. You ain't gonna say, oh, well, I can't believe this. You ain't gonna say that. You gonna snap to and adjust instantaneously. So I expect the same behavior. You know what I'm saying? If you want, you know, instead of, oh, we can't believe America. No, you gotta believe it. It is what it is. Adjust to it instantly. But see, that ain't what people doing. You ain't adjusting to it instantly. You know what I'm saying? You sit back pondering. Ain't nothing to ponder. They've been doing it the whole time. The youngest boy that got married in this country was 11 years old. 11? The youngest boy in your country that got married to a woman, the boy was 11. 11. He probably ain't even ejaculating yet. Think about it. Most boys don't ejaculate at 11 years old. He probably ain't even ejaculating. He got married at 11. Can you imagine what he's like as a man? Can you imagine? It's people around here probably animals, bro. Like that kind of stuff you see on TV where people live under the basement kind of stuff. Under the basement kind of stuff. You know what I'm talking about? People, hey, walking around barefoot, dirty feet, and living in the basement. Them horror stories, them scary movies where people be living under the basement of them redneck like horror story movies. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, they be living in the basement or the attic, and they come out like look, they come out with a long t-shirt with no underpants on. Hey man, listen, bruh. Listen. This under the basement kind of stuff, man. That's how I see it. Child marriage is like this under the basement kind of stuff. These wild people, man, marrying a boy 11 years old. 11 years old, man. Come on, man. How that happen? How did that happen? That's what I'm saying. Where was the parents? Where was the government? They was right there. They let that person marry an 11-year-old boy. And listen, here's the punchline. In the 21st century, this happened in this century. That's all you need to know. 10-year-old girls, 11-year-old boy. That's the youngest that's got married in this country, as far as I know. It could be younger than that. Because now they got the new laws that say any age of child. Oh, go look it up. It got worse. July 1st, 2000. See, the prophet can't help it. I gotta let you know what's going on, man. I can't just talk about. God don't want me just to be preaching per se. I gotta talk about real issues, man. That's just me as a prophet. I can't get up here and go and stick to these traditional church formats. You know what I'm saying? I can't stomach and digest a community to sit up and talk about child molesters, but then y'all been marrying children as young as 10 years old, young as 11 years old, a boy 11. Look at that. Look how women feel about that. A child that's 11 years old, bruh. 11 years old, man. Nah, man, nah. That's crazy. That's crazy. That ain't even a teenager. So you can't say it's just the teenagers. See, that's what America try to sell you on. And they try to make you feel like you attracted to it too. Oh, they gonna do that. That's the Jedi mind trick. So that they got you too. So they gonna try to tempt you with that and get you and then say, well, see, you like us. You like children like us, so you can't. So you quietly stop talking to you. Because they set up a campaign to get you tempted to say, see, you just like us. That's the only way they was going to beat me to it. Because they had to make you feel used the same way. Well, and then you thinking to yourself, well, yeah, I'm kind of attracted to children. I'm kind of attracted to teenagers. Well, you know, you sit back, well, man, yeah, I kind of feel that way, man. I don't know, man. You know what I'm talking about, don't you? They exploring the idea, right? Well, I don't know, man. You know, I kind of. They got you. So now you're not. Cause see, but you didn't. They challenged you with the beauty of a child, and they manipulated it. It made you feel guilty about something that you really don't stand for. That's the manipulation. That's the Jedi mind trick. See, the Jedi do mind tricks. The Jedi mind tricks. Darth Vader don't do no mind tricks. He don't play with your mind. The Jedi seem so nice and good, but they play with your mind. And they doing it. The Americans are doing it. They doing Jedi mind tricks. But the bottom line is Vader, look, you couldn't beat Vader with no, you can't beat me. You can't beat Vader with Jedi mind tricks, bro. Bro, you can't beat me with no Jedi mind tricks. Nah. Because look, I'm going to look at it like this, man. I'm going to look at it like this. You are marrying children. That's the bottom line. That's the bottom line. Ain't no way you can Jedi mind trick with that, buddy. But see, the only way they can get past it is to make you feel like you like the same thing. See what I'm saying? They gonna come around and show you all these movies and media and these teenage girls, and they gonna say, well, look at that. Well, look at that. Don't you like that? And now you thinking to yourself, man, you sit around high looking at these images, but you don't know the energy behind it is to tempt you so that you with them. So you can't say nothing because hey, well, we found you kind of lusting after these little teenage girls. So what can you say to us? See how they got you. But see, here's the next step. They got you on the teenage girls. But what about the 10-year-old girls? You wouldn't do that, would you? So they doing stuff you wouldn't do still. They playing with children you wouldn't do nothing with. You ain't gonna do nothing with a 10-year-old girl, man. Come on, no you ain't. No you ain't, man. Because I'm gonna tell you why you ain't gonna do it as a man. Because you don't want to leave the child with that kind of trauma. You don't want her to have that on her mind for the rest of her life that you did something to her. That's what it's gonna be as a grown man. Now as a child you're gonna make mistakes, right? But as a man, the first thing you're gonna think about is I don't want to produce no trauma in a child. You gonna think I don't want her to think about that. I did that to her all her life. That's the first thing a grown, not just, oh, I protect children. The first thing you're gonna think about as a man, I don't want to be the person she think about that did something to her for the rest of her life. No, I don't want to be thinking about that. That I did something to a girl for the rest of my life. I don't want to be thinking about that. No, You don't want that on your conscience, in other words. That's why you ain't gonna do it. That's the first reason you ain't gonna do it. Then everything else. Not saying that puts it in your mind that you would do it, and you do that because it ain't the first thought to just say I don't want to do it. But the first thought is gonna be the impact that you leave on the child. That's the first thing you're gonna think. No, oh no, I don't want that on my conscience. I don't want that. I don't want her thinking about me for the rest of my life, like in a bad way. But a girl gonna grow up, if she was messing around with another kid, she gonna grow up and mature and realize and put it in the proper context. If she's smart and healthy, she ain't gonna label you as no pedophile. If you and her were both kids, she gonna say, oh, okay, well, I understand that now because we both was kids. As she get older, she gonna understand. But if you was an adult, she gonna flip, because when she get older, because she gonna realize how she is as an adult, and how could you do that as an adult yourself? That's what makes people flip. Because then you realize, okay, me as an adult, I wouldn't have done that. As a kid, I did things, crazy things, but not as an adult though. Because now I'm thinking, not with a kid. Now with another adult, okay, you could have stuff that happened and then it lingers over into adulthood, but ultimately you're gonna come out of it with that person. So let's say for example, you was having sex with a little girl or a boy as a kid yourself, but y'all grew up, but then you still had those same feelings. That's gonna be normal. But ultimately, if you're truly healthy, in most cases you're gonna just what I call even out with the kid or the adult, and y'all both gonna be functioning adults, treating each other as functioning adults. Now, some people go from childhood to adulthood, but that's not the same thing. That ain't even pedophilia. You got some people that was having sex as kids, they grew up, and they still having sex with each other. Okay? Now, but is that pedophilia? No. See, that's where it gets tricky. But you got to use common sense. Okay, they was having sex with each other as kids. They grew up and they still having sex. How's that pedophilia? It's not. See, some people don't know the full glossary of sexual positions. You feel me? Everything, a retarded person think everything is pedophilia. It's not. Life ain't that simple. How could it be everything is pedophilia? You simple-minded. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? And that's basically what it is. But the true test is go ask these beautiful women what they've been through. Go ask these beautiful, handsome men what they've been through. Don't ask no ugly person that nobody was attracted to. Go ask these beautiful, beautiful girls, beautiful women how they were sexualized by their own family. Half of these young, beautiful women, that's who you talk to. You don't talk to no ugly girl. She gonna be the ugly girl talking about, yeah, nobody ain't having sex with no kids. Yeah, because nobody found you attractive. They still don't find you attractive. So don't ask no ugly person. Go ask a person that's beautiful, and she gonna tell you all the filthy stuff that she went through as a kid. Oh yeah. At the hands of her own family. Yeah, don't go ask no ugly person. That's all out there. Look around. All these ugly people talking about child molesters. Now go talk to a pretty person. They gonna understand. Well, hey, they gonna say, well, too late for me. I went through all kind of stuff when I was a kid. All kind of, ain't no way you couldn't have. Living here in America, they might not tell you, you know what I'm saying, but read between the lines. They couldn't even make it out their family without getting sexualized in America. That's how it is. That's how it is. That's how it is for you and for me. If you're attractive and you are esteemed attractive, from the time you was a kid, I was esteemed attractive from the time I ain't grow up beautiful and grow into it. I was cute. I was considered cute as a kid. So I went through all kind of questionable stuff. Like if you ain't attractive, you ugly, nobody was attracted to you. That's what it was. Now go ask, now in America, and specifically in America, go ask these beautiful women what they went through. I'm talking about the beautiful ones that's in their 40s and 50s, and they still hot. Go ask them. Go ask them. A woman that's obviously beautiful by everybody's standard, by most people's standard. Go ask her what she went through. Go ask a woman that's beautiful by most people's standard what she went through. And I guarantee you she's going to tell you, listen, yeah, well, me and my cousin did it. And then guess what else she's going to tell you? Oh, well, you know, that we kind of enjoyed it. It wasn't really a child molestation. She's going to tell you, well, we kind of just was doing it. That part. That's what she's going to tell you. She ain't going to tell you she was no victim. She was doing it. That part. I know what I'm talking about, buddy. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even when you look at people, and this, I say this respectfully, even like Aaliyah was messing with R. Kelly, right? But I guarantee you, before R. Kelly, I guarantee you somebody else in her family was messing around Aaliyah. I guarantee you they was. Because she was already too open to it. She was already too open to having sex with being with R. Kelly. And look how young she was. He ain't just turned her out and just, no. What y'all didn't pay attention to, was that Aaliyah, being as beautiful as she was, you telling me none of her cousins or none of nobody out in the streets tried to did nothing to her? That's why she was like that, man. That's not disrespect to her. It's her path. It's what she went through. I guarantee you. You as a grown man, you know a woman as beautiful as Aaliyah did not make it out her teenage years without no sexuality. Come on. Ain't no way in the world. Ain't no way in the world. Just too beautiful. Just so beautiful. Somebody did something to her, I guarantee you. That's why by the time she met R. Kelly, she was already ready. Because think about it. If she was a virgin, she wouldn't have been messing with no R. Kelly. R. Kelly wouldn't have been able to have sex with her. And this is no shame on her. It's just how it is. I'm telling you, somebody probably touched Aaliyah. Yeah, come on. And all these other beautiful girls. All of them been touched. That's why they be dancing on stage all sexual. Why you think they like that at a young age? Because they already turned out, man. That's what it was. That's common sense. They ain't got nothing to do with secret societies. That's life. They ain't got nothing to do with no rituals. That's life. Ain't got nothing to do with none of that stuff. Just human nature. I know. Ain't no way in the world you're going to tell me that Aaliyah just hopped up on R. Kelly. Like, that's the first guy, and then she was just acting out with R. Kelly, and they just got married and all of that. But she was a virgin. Come on, man. That's common sense, bro. Somebody sexualized her when she was young, and we don't know how young. But I'm guarantee you that's what happened. I guarantee you. I guarantee you that's what happened. You know what I'm saying? So, so nobody feels like I'm saying something offensive, right? Okay, because people are trying around here try to act like I'm saying something offensive. You know, we know I ain't saying nothing offensive. They worship these people, and I don't. And that's no disrespect. I was an Aaliyah fan. I always like Aaliyah. I'm just telling you from a human nature understanding. Ain't no way in the world she just got with R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? See, suckers can't speak their mind. Everybody else see where I'm coming from as a real one, right? Okay. But they suckers, they can't speak, so they think they get scared to say stuff. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Okay? Because it's coming from a right place, from understanding. Ain't no way in the world Aaliyah was just with R. Kelly. And then she just jumped up and married R. Kelly low-key and she having sex with R. Kelly out the blue. But this is a young, innocent girl that ain't never done nothing. Or ain't never been turned out. Something happened to her, man. That's why she was already like that. That's why she was ready to do that. That's why she did it. That's why she made the song, age ain't nothing but a number. Throwing down ain't nothing but a thing. Right? Age ain't nothing. Come on, read between the lines. And I'm not saying anything, that's not demonizing her at all. If you stupid, you stupid. That's telling you that's proving my point. These beautiful women have all been through it. They all have. And if it didn't happen, if nothing happened to Aaliyah, it did with R. Kelly. So she still wound up being a victim based on her beauty before she was a fully grown adult. Can't deny that, right? Well, she wasn't 18 when she was having sex with R. Kelly. No, she wasn't. And y'all didn't say nothing about it, did you? You ain't say nothing about R. Kelly and Aaliyah. Nobody really said nothing about it. But you know Aaliyah was not an adult. No, she wasn't. And y'all didn't really even say nothing about it. Then y'all gonna say mute R. Kelly 10, 20 years later. You should have said mute R. Kelly back when he was with Aaliyah. He was with Aaliyah, what? She was like 14, 15? Come on, bro. He got her before she was even 16, man. She wasn't 16. I don't think so. I don't think so. But she wasn't 17, that's for sure. That's for sure, bro. She couldn't have been no more than 16. That's what I'm saying. So either way it go, beautiful women are the ones that get sexualized. These beautiful children are the ones that's going to get sexualized. And either way it go, she's a perfect example of that. She didn't make it out of childhood without being sexualized. Marilyn Monroe didn't either. Marilyn Monroe was married at 16. Once again, a beautiful woman. Marilyn Monroe wasn't going to make it out of no teenage years without being sexualized. It's no way in the world. Not in America. Marilyn Monroe was 16 when she got married. That's not a grown woman. That's not a woman. But see, you got some men that look at it like however they look at it. But that's a child, you know what I'm saying? And so for me, if you don't have the standard of having sex with no children, you can't even talk about this. You can't talk about it. You can't talk about some children, not those children, but these children. You can have sex with these children, but not those children. That's how you sound. You can have sex with these children, but not them. Imagine telling a pedophile, well, you can have sex with these children, but not those children. You can have sex with those children, but not them. But those children over there, that's okay. In fact, you can marry that child right there. Imagine the logic in that. You see what I'm saying? It's trying to have your cake and eat it too. That's what it is. You can't sit up and talk to me about no pedophiles, and y'all been letting people marry these young women like Aaliyah and you can say Aaliyah was a fake marriage, but we all knew Aaliyah was a kid with R. Kelly. We all knew that. Everybody knew. We knew she wasn't an adult. Okay? She wasn't. She was looking at everybody with R. Kelly, but she wasn't no adult. And we knew that much now, didn't we? Yes, we knew that much. Come on. And did you say something about it? Did you say something worthwhile about it? No, you didn't. It's too late to try to act like this now. That's what I'm trying to show you. It's too late. It's too much history. See, back in the day, nobody really cared. That's what you don't want to admit. Nobody really cared. The whole country was doing questionable things with these kids. That's the truth. It was a dark world sexually, and people was doing all kind of stuff with these kids. And nobody really even said nothing. Other people did it. We all had these little stories that things we did, and now everybody and we in this sterile police world now that we live in. You know, it's too contradicting. The police can't even talk to us with a straight face about no pedophilia. I can show you police officers having sex with these children. Right here in New York, a 14-year-old girl, NYPD was having sex with a 14-year-old girl. Right here in New York. And she joined a New York program, a NYPD program, and the NYPD 2 officers had sex with her. She ain't gonna be the same. She gonna be turned out. She done adjusted to having sex with a man. She ain't gonna never be the same. She might not be a hoe, but when she get to herself, she gonna be internalizing all the things that she experienced. And she gonna act out on that level. She gonna want older men. She gonna want older guys. She ain't gonna want no little boy. She ain't gonna want no boy no more. A boy her age and innocent and nice, and she ain't gonna want that. No, I'm just being real. So either way it go, Aaliyah was having sex when she was underage. Can we establish that with R. Kelly? Okay, so which proves my point that these young girls do not make it out of childhood without being sexualized. Okay, so my point is still made whether she did with something with just only R. Kelly or before R. Kelly. My point is still made because she was sexualized before she was an adult. Okay, so my point is still proven. Okay. Let's get this. Listen, these lames can't do nothing but slam doors, trying to trigger, trying to instigate, and God gonna take them up to tear them apart. Man, I'm on them. The person next door is an enemy. I already marked that person. I ain't playing no games. Well, he think I'm stuck. I'm stupid. No, I ain't playing no games with you. Don't talk to me. But listen, don't say nothing to me. It's that simple. I'm not goofy like you, bro. I'm not goofy. You play with me, listen, buddy, you're gonna get the bull, you're gonna get the horns when you play with the bull. Tell you just like that, I gorge you right in your face. Yeah, you ain't dealing with no sucker over here. Okay, anyway, man, so I covered everything, right? That's just these suckers around this building and everything like that. They think they're gonna eventually get something started, and they not. They not. You ain't getting nothing started, sucker. You know what I'm saying? You thought I was one of them dumb little delinquent like little niggas, and you realize I'm very educated and very cultured and as you can see, I know all the stuff that we've been doing. Prince, the artist Prince, he found his woman when she was 16. He said that's his wife. She was 16. Even though he waited, he still sexualized her when she was 16. I wouldn't even look at a girl that's 16 as my wife. How she my wife and she ain't a woman today? She's not a woman today, but she's my wife. That's sexualizing a child at that time. But see, that's the old school. That's the old school. The old school would sit back, these old cat daddies, what we call cat daddies, they'll sit back and see a young, beautiful young teenager and wait for her. Oh, he ain't gonna have sex with her, he gonna wait for her. But he gonna be grooming her. He gonna be grooming her in a way where she's ready to be with him. So he gonna be giving a little money, you know what I'm saying, in the hood. It's them type of dudes, them old dudes. Giving you money, opening his legs, letting you see his penis, but he ain't gonna come on. Got his leg gapped open. Yeah, come here and get this money, girl. But got his legs gapped open so she can see his penis through his pants. I'm tripping? Man, that's what it is. He might tell her to sit on his lap. Yeah, come on, sit on my lap. I got some money for you. Listen, man, that's what it is. That's how it used to be. Then you got rappers like Eminem on 3 a.m. talking about having sex with Hannah Montana. Oh, yeah, we gonna listen. They talking about stuff we did back in the day, or they thought we did. Why we can't talk about what they did recently? Eminem was talking about having sex with Hannah Montana. She was not, when he made that song, she had to be 16 or younger. I checked the dates. I checked the time she was born, the time the album came out, in a reasonable time frame, and she couldn't have been no more than 16 to 15 years old. I think she might have been 15. And then Young Money, Mac Main, on the song All the Girls in the World, he talked about having sex with Miley Cyrus too. And she was 16 at that time, because the song came out the same year the Eminem song came out, 3 a.m. Eminem, in my point of view as a prophet, lost his whole legacy talking about masturbating to Hannah Montana. That's over. I don't care nothing about what that white boy got to say no more. And see, that's another person. Y'all let go. Y'all be jockety. All you MCs be jockety. But you ain't say nothing about him having masturbating to Hannah Montana. Now let a black man do the same thing. Let a black MC talk about, jacking to Hannah Montana and I bust everywhere. This is what he said too, bust all over. He got graphic with it. He said jacking me, masturbate, Hannah Montana, get the lotion and I'm busting everywhere. Come on. Hannah Montana couldn't have been no older than 16 years old. Eminem sexualized a girl that young. That's what he did. That's a white boy for you. Because you ain't going to find, that's how we know Eminem is a white boy. Because a black man ain't going to talk about no masturbating to Hannah Montana or some female, young girl. No. So I bodied Eminem without even putting up a diss track. That's how he got bodied right there. That's 7 hours. Listen, buddy, man, you made a song about masturbating to Hannah Montana, then he gonna walk around like he the GOAT MC, like he the MC of all time. You ain't gonna never get that crown. You denied of it because you talking about masturbating to Hannah Montana. Talking about busting everywhere, ejaculating everywhere after having, how I look at it, a black man couldn't have done it. A black man can't talk about. Can you imagine one of these head honchos rappers talking about, I was masturbating to Hannah Montana, I bust everywhere. Can you imagine how we would eternalize that as black people? No, oh no, look, what he talking about? Hannah Montana. Why you ain't do it with Eminem? Oh, cause he a white boy. Cause that's shock rap. Oh, would it be shock rap if a black man did it? No, it wouldn't be. You wouldn't be talking about no shock rap. A white boy do it, oh, it's shock rap. You wouldn't give no room for shock rap to go that far, talking about masturbating to some obviously underage girl. You ain't letting no shock rap go that far. See, that's what I'm trying to show you. Now, I ain't talking about him being in no secret society or none of that. I'm talking about real life stuff that we all live by, rules and regulations. Ain't no way in the world you got a flawless legacy, right? That's how Eminem got bodied. He bodied himself. You should have knew that was going to happen. All that stuff he talking about all the time. All that random stuff he talking about. You should have knew he was going in the middle of all them words and everything he using. You knew he was going to body himself, didn't he? Hey, Eminem, the only MC that killed himself, ain't he? That part. That's something now. Yeah. He took bars and killed himself. How fitting for a person like Eminem. He did lyrical suicide. Where he talking about masturbating to Hannah Montana. You can't come back from that. Bro, because we look at it like that you felt she was sexy or sexual. You felt that was good to look at her that way. And she wasn't no grown woman, was she? No, she wasn't. I don't care if you hate me or not. I don't care if Eminem fans hate me or not. You halfway homosexual for Eminem. Well then stick to the same standard. Sticks to the same standard. You halfway gay for Eminem. Man, half of these dudes, listen, they probably get drunk around Eminem and probably have sex with him. That's a 7-hour. All these Eminem fans, you get drunk enough, you'll do it, won't you? Come on, I know how these people are. Half of you Eminem fans get drunk enough, these, especially the white boys, you get drunk enough, you'll have sex with Eminem, won't you? Hey, you know a white boy might do it. He get a little drunk, you know. It's their little secret. Oh, you know, I'm exaggerating. I'm not. I'm not. These little dudes get drunk and they want to have. And if Eminem make a move on them, you think they're gonna say no? No. It's gonna be their little cool, little dark secret, ain't it? It's their little cool, little dark secret. They think they dark. He think he darker from doing it, don't he? Mm-hmm. And 50 Cent can't talk about nothing. He got ate out by Vivica A. Fox. She tossed his salad. She licked his butthole. Most dudes in the streets would feel that that's suspect. Well, 50 Cent, well, why you getting your salad tossed by, why you talking about everybody else gay? Well, you got ate out by Vivica A. Fox. She ate your butthole. Everybody know 50 Cent got his butthole ate by Vivica A. Fox. And you know she did it good because she's an actress. Oh, she just licked around it a little bit. She did everything. She probably put whipped cream on that bad boy. She probably put Hershey syrup and whipped cream and M&M's on it. She put some M&M's on it, don't she? She threw M&M song on and put some M&M's on it, didn't she? She sprinkled some M&M's on it and put M&M song on it, didn't she? Well, put a little Eminem song on. Which Eminem song do you like? Oh, yeah, put it on track 5. Put it on track 5. 5 for 50. Put it on track 5. Okay, yeah. Oh, I like that. He getting eaten out for track 5 on the Eminem song, ain't it? It's just track 5. We ain't gonna tell nobody. You know, they gonna try to exaggerate it and everything. It's just track 5. It was just track 5. They'll be reading into it and talking about I'm bisexual, putting on Eminem and then fire track. Hey man, listen. Let me tell you something. Everybody contradict themselves. That's all you gotta realize. Because I know some of these dudes in prison, if they found out 50 got ate out by Vivica A. Fox, if he go to prison, they gonna think they got a chance. Oh yeah. Oh, these real prison felons. Well, you know he got ate out by Eminem, by Vivica A. Fox. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, she ate him out, man. You don't think these dudes in prison gonna say, well, He like feeling down there in that area. You don't think they're gonna look at that as suspect a little bit? Like they can work on that part. They can work on making you feel a little something more. I'm being real with you. Now see, my philosophy is outside of your world, that's according to your world. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying I think he gay for it. But I'm saying according to your world, they gonna think you gay for it. They gonna think you suspect for it, because these fellas gonna feel like you shouldn't want no feeling down there in your butthole. You shouldn't want no feeling. But see, I listen. I'm not the one acting like I'm so straight, but I am. You know what I mean, though. Where to the point where I can rag on these other dudes being gay. Now, if you're gonna play that position, you can't do nothing suspect. You can't be getting your salad tossed and then talk about who's suspect in the industry. No, not you. You can't be that guy no more. That's what at least people gonna say in prison. No, well, we don't want to hear from you. You got your butthole ate out. No, let somebody else do it. Not you, buddy. You don't get knocked. You talking all this trash, all this jazz. You've been doing it for a million years, and now we find you where you got your butthole ate out by Vivica A. Fox, and we know you liked it. Come on, let's be 100. We ain't saying you ain't like it, but see, you can't be the person that's talking about these homosexuals no more. Your time is done, buddy. Your time done there, buddy. Your time, cause how fellas gonna look at it. Nah, you shouldn't want no feeling in that area. That's how I'm just saying. I'm not saying I agree with that, but I'm saying in your world, among them thugs and gangsters, they gonna say, nah, I don't want no feeling in that area. Nah, that's suspect. Most of them gonna say that's suspect of somebody else. If it was somebody else and they found you got ate out by Vivica A. Fox, they gonna say you suspect, right or wrong. Okay then. So what's the difference? If you apply the same perspective on the same activity, that's all I'm saying. But I'm not saying it is, but I'm just saying how it is in the real world that you live in. The world according to you, what you live in. See, my point is this, man, we all contradict ourselves. You know what I'm saying? It just when you can't contradict yourself to where it don't make no common sense. It don't make no sense at all. And if you did something in childhood, that's all the sense in the world. Your biggest excuse is I was a child. Well, I was a child. Okay, that's your biggest excuse. That's the best excuse. The best excuse is, oh, what, he was a child, wasn't he? Yeah, okay, that's the best excuse. You was a grown man, wasn't you? Come on, man, listen, man. I'm talking about the people marrying children. You're a grown man marrying children, ain't you? Oh, well, what's your excuse? What's your excuse? Huh? What's your excuse? Ain't none, buddy. My best excuse is anything you talking about, sucker. Wasn't I a child myself? Boom, that's the best excuse. That's 7 hours. Listen, ain't nothing you can say. He a child. Okay, well, he was a child. Okay, what you gonna say to him? Boom, boom. Ow. All. Ain't nothing you can say. But you grown, musty men have marrying children. These musty men marrying children. You know how a dude been out in the streets all week. He come home and lay and try to watch some TV. Musty. You ever seen that before? Hey, somebody been running the streets and then they come in and take their shoes off and try to watch a little TV before they do anything. Be musty, don't they? These big musty grown men like that marrying these children. Can't be serious. Can't be talking to me. Can't be. You got to be talking to these ignorant folks. You got to be. You can't be. I'm too educated. I know what some of these dudes do. Listen, ain't nobody talking about 50 doing that. Getting eaten out by Vivica. You supposed to be for the totally straight crowd. Nothing questionable. Nothing to question, right? Thoroughbred. Nothing to question. Done got ate out by 50 Cent, by Vivica A. Fox. See, most people gonna look at that like, man, you know, that's kind of suspect, bruh. Cause you like a feeling down there. So you can't be the person to talk about all this gay stuff no more. That time gone for you, buddy. We want to talk to somebody that ain't never done none of that stuff. I mean, that's what the world gonna say. They don't want nobody who butthole done got played around. You done got your butthole played around? Okay, you can't talk for that. You can't be in the lane where you trying to expose these gay guys. I'm just saying. I'm just keeping it a 100. I'm just telling you that's how you go find these fellas. They not gonna entertain nobody that's been up here getting their butthole ate out. I'm just telling you. It's all good though, cause I know what it means. I know what it means, and I know what it don't mean. But everybody don't feel that way. Everybody don't feel that way, right? Right. But Eminem, Hannah Montana, you can't come back from that, buddy. You talking about masturbating to Hannah Montana? Eminem talking about that. Listen, buddy, you can't talk. Listen, you can't come back from that, buddy. You ain't the MC you used to be. I tell you that. I guess it was the pills, wasn't it? Hey, it was the pills, wasn't it? Ain't nothing you can say. You put it out. You talking about? And then he had a chance to get rid of that. He had a chance to get rid of it. You had a chance to get rid of. Talk about masturbating to Hannah Montana. You let LL Cool J listen to the whole album. Why LL Cool J didn't say nothing about it? LL Cool J heard the same album. They went and rolled around. He told everybody they rolled around, listened to the Relapse album. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? Okay. So when you and LL was riding around, LL didn't say nothing about the Hannah Montana line. When you talking about masturbating to Hannah, he probably was shocked. Put his head down, shocked. Oh. Let's keep it 100. LL didn't say nothing about that, did he? You had so much time to change those lyrics, didn't you? Eminem is a lab rat. He could. Let's go take that back to the studio and cut that part right there. You can see Eminem on the phone. Yeah, cut that part right there. Oh yeah, take that part out. Talking to a studio engineer. Yeah, take that part, the Hannah Montana part out. You had all the time in the world and you didn't do it, did you? What that say about you? What that say about you? And then can you be mad at one of them white boys that sitting back and say, well, I always like Hannah Montana. I think I'm going to jack off to be evil like Eminem. You got them corny white boys like that. You wouldn't do it because you're black. You wouldn't be Eminem because you're black. Well, you wouldn't be talking about jacking off to Hannah Montana. But stranger things have happened, hasn't it? Stranger things have happened. These white boys just say, get drunk. Yeah, I'm gonna go. Listen, he listen to Eminem, he getting drunk. Hey, they gonna turn up when they get drunk and listen to Eminem, ain't they? he gonna sit back and think about masturbating to Hannah Montana. Yeah, I always liked her too. I'm gonna be like Eminem. I'm gonna jack off to Hannah Montana. It's gonna be evil. It's gonna be an evil deed. Hey, they corny like this. A lot of white boys corny like that. What you gonna say? Ain't nothing you can say. See, this is the art of real war, the art of battle. I crush America. I crush you. I crush all the people you're with. I don't even gotta go no further. Nobody don't want it with me, man. Stop playing with me, buddy. You don't want it with me, buddy. I got nukes, man. I got nukes. Eminem can't come back from that. We don't want to hear nothing else. He talking about up there talking about jacking off to Hannah Montana, busting nuts. That Hannah Montana. Nobody want to hear nothing about that. Nobody want to hear nothing else. Okay, and that's that. Ain't nothing you can't say. It's a lie. That's why I pride myself on being the prophet when nobody can say, oh, well, that's speculation. We don't really know. Oh, what you mean we don't really know? Tupac talked about killing your fofo, my fofo, make sure none of y'all kids don't grow. Biggie talked about effeminate, throw them over the bridge. Okay? That's Biggie, Eminem, and Pac. Listen, did I do it? Is it my fault? Hey, listen, and nobody, I didn't Jedi mind trick to make you put that out. It's Eminem, and obviously the past, I ain't have nothing to do with that, man. See, I'm just pointing out the obvious, man. See, so what I show y'all that, you'll contradict yourself. You know what I'm saying? You contradict yourself as a whole culture. You know why I know how I could conclude that? Because you ain't say nothing about it. You insult my intelligence. You'll talk about all these dudes you consider as lames. You know what I'm saying? But you ain't gonna say nothing about Pac. You ain't gonna say nothing about Big. Like, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna say nothing about Eminem. You ain't gonna say nothing about him. Cause you a sucker like that. I'm gonna say what, if you wrong, you're wrong as a man. It's that simple. See, when you're real, you listen. You them like your brothers anyway. If your brother wrong, your brother wrong. That's it. And what else is it? I ain't bowing down. I don't bow down to nobody. See, that's what make you a sucker. I don't bow down to nobody. They gonna wind up respecting me because I'm gonna talk to you like I'm your brother. You wrong, you're wrong. That's what it is. Okay, you a sucker. You scared to talk to him. You scared to say what it is. I'm not. That's how you know who's really real. Who will you address? Who you gonna say something about? Who you gonna say something to? You scared. You ain't gonna say nothing to nobody. You know what I'm saying? So then I don't get played with by you because I know you can't address who I address. You can't say nothing to the people I say stuff to. You ain't gonna do that. You ain't gonna, because you ain't built like that, buddy. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. That's why, listen, man, that's why our kingdom has no competitors, man. I could go through all these rappers and I can show you all things questionable. But this is how I look at it, man. This is how I look at it. This is how I look at it. Every human contradict themselves, right? It's just how bad do you contradict yourself? But you're going to contradict yourself because you're not perfect, right? But it's just how bad do you contradict yourself? That's what's going to make it either a problem or not. But if it's reasonable within reason, when you contradict yourself as a person, you know, because that's what make you human. But what make you imperfect is contradiction. You gonna contradict, because if you was perfect, you wouldn't be contradicting yourself. But being imperfect, you gonna contradict yourself. Something you told somebody that you was gonna do, you didn't do it, did you? Something you said you was gonna do, you did not do. A vow you took, you did not. That promise was broken. You got broken promises, right? You said you was gonna stop drinking, you didn't stop drinking. You said you was gonna stop smoking, you didn't stop smoking. You contradict yourself. Okay? And contradiction goes to a big place or a small place. But you're going to contradict yourself. The problem is not contradiction. The problem is huge contradictions. Like the Americans marrying children, talking about pedophiles. That is too huge of a contradiction. That's not like, oh, okay, you got me right here. You got me. It's not like, oh, no, you got me right here. You are marrying children. It's too big of a contradiction. You can't outlive that, bro. You can't outlive it. I destroyed your whole credibility, your whole community. That's what it is. And you can be quiet about it. I don't really care. I don't really care how quiet you be about it. I know that you marry children, you have sex with children, you do the exact same activity that you accuse other people of. That's all I'm talking about as a grown man. And you know what? Even if you don't respect me, listen, you got to respect the truth. You know it's the truth. You know it's the truth and it's the entirety of the truth. It ain't Jedi mind trick. It's what you're doing. You marrying children, right? Okay, boom. It ain't no Jedi mind trick in that. It's self-explanatory. You know what self-explanatory means? It explains itself, right? You don't need me to explain it, do you? Okay, if they marrying children, you don't need me to explain what's going on, do you? You need me to explain it? You need to explain the details of a man marrying a child. So it's self-explanatory, and we're gonna see if you're gonna die fake. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna die either way. But some of y'all gonna die fake. You know what I'm saying? Which is it's pathetic. You're gonna die fake, bro. Sitting around here talking about pedophiles and marrying children. This whole time, that's what I'm talking about. That's a dunk. I dunked on y'all. You know how people look when they get dunked on? Hey, you ever see the dude that's getting dunked on? He like this, right? You getting dunked on, man. You like this, man. That's a nasty dunk, buddy. All on you. I'm all on you. Look, you deserve it. You should listen. These chumps shouldn't have been acting like you the 18 for children. Like you Mr. T for children. You Mr. T for children, ain't you? You living in fantasy worlds, buddy. I'm gonna tell you like Tupac said. You live in fantasy worlds. You watch too many movies. That's what Tupac said. You watch too many movies, man. You need to come into reality. Wu-Tang Clan didn't say nothing about no child marriage, did they? That's 7 out. Hey, Wu-Tang talking about they for the kids, right? How come they ain't never said nothing about child marriage? That's no disrespect to ODB, because I used to listen to ODB. I had an ODB album, okay? When he was alive. That part. When my mom seen the album, say, "Oh, I can't believe he put his food stamp card on it." If my mom don't know any Wu-Tang member, she know about ODB, because when I bought the album, she took me to go get the album, right? And I showed her the album. She said, "He put his food stamp card." She was appalled. He put his food stamp card on his album. So my mom know about ODB. So you know what I'm saying. So but the point is, man, you know, with Wu-Tang Clan, they never, as a group, besides ODB, y'all know they never said nothing about child marriage laws in America. You know what I'm saying? I beat everybody. You know what I'm saying? That's why I don't take nothing off these chumps around here. Not them. All these people around here, I don't take nothing. No, man, no. You name them, man. They said nothing. They said nothing. They said nothing. So how would you feel? Like the champion, like the ruler. Because it changes the whole structure of our society. You can't, this information changes the whole family structure, literally. Where they've been marrying children, you can't say, oh, that's just some random information. Random information that changes the whole family structure in America? That's not random information, buddy. You're trying to trivialize this information for your convenience, so you don't look like you're liable. See, how convenient for people to trivialize this information, because you're liable. That's why you're trying to trivialize it. Sorry, buddy, ain't no way out of that. Ain't no way out. Because it's too late. It's way too late. Ain't nothing you can do about it. Ain't nothing you can do about it. So all you can do is congratulate the champ. That's all you can do. You definitely ain't competing with me. All these people outside the door, man, come on, man. You a bum. You a bum to me. You are a bum. Okay? You like, listen, man, listen. I'm doing something that nobody, Donald Trump ain't never said nothing about child marriage. Donald Trump said something about it. Did Barack Obama say something about it? Barack Obama, did he say something about child marriage? He had 2 girls coming to the White House. He had 2 children, girls, going to the White House. Why he ain't do nothing about child marriage? He ain't do nothing about it, did he? Man, come on, man. He can't even see me, man. He can't see me. Barack Obama can't see me, buddy. Barack Obama sat in the White House 2 terms and said nothing. Had 2 children and said nothing about child marriage laws. He can't see me, bro. You can't be serious. All he did is Obamacare anyway. All he did was Obamacare. What else? He can't see me. No, this ain't arrogance. This is putting everything in proper rank. Okay? This is how you do it. You put everything in proper rank, clear everything out of people's minds, especially black people, because they think they got somebody to pit up against you. They always do. Okay, so I'm going to shoot down everybody you think you got to pit up against me. Because that's what ignorant people do. You go, oh, well, what about this person? What about you? What about you? Instead of finding somebody else, won't you pit yourself against me? You can't, come on, man. You already know you ain't, listen, you already know ain't no way in the world you can see me, buddy. Ain't no way in the world. You wishing on the star, ain't you? You wishing on the star, ain't you? You wishing on the star. You can't see me, buddy. That's a joke. That's a joke. Barack Obama didn't even say nothing about this. Huh? Barack Obama didn't even say nothing. Who else you want to name? The Bushes, the George Bush, Clinton. Clintons didn't say nothing. Hillary Clinton didn't say nothing. Bill Clinton didn't say nothing. Who else you want to name? Who else? Who else? Who else you got? Name them. Go ahead. I'm going to wait for you. James Brown didn't say nothing about child marriage. He made a song, It's a Man's World, and it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a little baby girl. But did he say something about child marriage? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. James Brown didn't even say nothing. Elvis Presley said something about child marriage laws. Elvis Presley didn't say nothing. Elvis Presley said something. Ozzy Osbourne said something. Hulk Hogan said something. Huh? You want me to keep going? You don't want no more, man. Come on, you don't want no more, buddy. We talking about chess. We not talking about ignorant children. We talking about chess among real men. Y'all don't want no more, bruh. You don't want no more. Denzel Washington didn't say nothing about child marriage laws, did he? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Eddie Murphy didn't. Like I told you, Eddie Murphy. He didn't say nothing about it. Who? Who said something about it? Yes, you realizing, ain't you? The whole community didn't even say nothing, didn't know nothing about this. And how we know? Because you couldn't talk about child marriage, child molestation in the same breath, knowing this information. You couldn't do it. With the same breath and oxygen that holds to the capacity of knowing about child marriage. How could you talk about child molesters? That's how we know you ain't know nothing. And last but not least, the police institution of America didn't know nothing about it. Oh, no, you didn't. Police didn't know nothing about it. You know how I know? Because I've educated police on the streets, on the beat, while they on the beat, about child marriage laws. Oh, I didn't know this information. We thank you for this. No, he said, we thank you for this information. No snitching, just educating the police. When y'all educated the police? You ever educated the police? Listen, buddy, you a bum. You a bum, buddy. Don't you ever play with me. You a bum. I tell your mother you a bum. You listen, let me tell you something. I educate police. I've educated the police. You done that? The ones running around trying to look for child molesters. Them, they the main one. I educated the police in California and told why they was on the streets in San Francisco. I'm telling them child marriage laws is in America. They didn't even know. They didn't even know. You ain't on my level? No. It needs to be said. CPS, Child Protective Services, they knew about child marriage laws. That's the worst one, Child Protective Services, CPS. How come CPS don't know about child marriage laws? Huh? All these funky caseworkers all across America acting like they helping and protecting the children, right? Okay, why you ain't know about it? Huh? How you ain't? Come on, man, stop playing with me. Y'all all are jokes. You're pathetic. You're all pathetic. That's what you are. You're all pathetic. All these preachers too, all these famous preachers, you ain't listen. All these preachers didn't say nothing either. T.D. Jakes didn't say nothing about no child marriage laws. Oh, when? Everybody hailing them as OGs and all of this and all of that, and that's what the insinuation is, but they ain't saying nothing about child marriage laws. I'm just keeping it 100. I've supported Bishop Jakes in the past. So it's not envy. It ain't everybody think it's always jealousy. It's about rank in this case. It's about I'm doing something that y'all ain't done and y'all yapping around talking about pedophile, but ain't nobody and they mama and them said nothing about no child marriage laws. That's all I'm saying. Ain't none of y'all saying nothing about it. So imagine me let some ignorant black people sit up in my face and question me and play with me when I'm going to go to your best. I'm going to go to your preachers. I'm going to go to your teachers. I'm going to go to these rappers. And I'm going to show you Rick Ross up there talking about all the stuff, pedophile and all this stuff. Kendrick Lamar talking about pedophile with Drake. Kendrick Lamar, he the main one supposed to be educated. He ain't said nothing about child marriage laws in America. Kendrick Lamar, he can't even see me. You can't see me. You ain't saying nothing about child marriage laws in America. And your favorite MC, probably Eminem, he talking about masturbating to Hannah Montana. Kendrick Lamar ain't saying nothing about no child marriage laws, but then he gonna jump on the track talking about Drake. I don't respect that. No, I don't respect that because in these days and times, you need to be able to prove that. You can't be saying, putting that on somebody's name and you ain't proving it. That's ignorance, man. That's the ignorance that's going on out here now. He participating in ignorance. He's supposed to be educated. He's supposed to be one of the people that's educating the community. He's sitting up here participating in ignorance. And that's what you're supposed to say to him. You participating in ignorance. You know what I'm saying? You're sitting up here talking this man is a pedophile, but you can't prove it. Now, I can see if you could bring up the girl's name and everything, you got receipts and you can show the pictures of the girl. Okay, boom. Dude's dead, right? Can't say nothing. But you're doing the same ignorance that the community is doing. You participating in the same foolishness. And he too educated to do it. That's what I'm saying. His head on straight too good to be doing that. And yeah, he still ain't said nothing about child marriage laws either. He ain't said nothing about it, have he? But you're going to talk about Drake and you don't really know. Come on, man. Rick Ross, the same one. He instigating the whole situation and everything over there by the pool and everything. I seen that. Yeah. But at the same time, yeah, Rick Ross ain't said nothing about the child marriage laws, has he? He ain't said nothing about it, has he? He talking about on some of his songs, oh, the preacher turning these kids out, turning boys out. Yeah, I heard that. I heard one of them songs. But at the same time, Rick Ross ain't said nothing about child marriage laws turning these kids out either. He ain't said nothing about that, has he? He ain't said nothing about that, has he? Come on, man, stop playing with me, bro. And I already told you, Jay-Z ain't said nothing about child marriage laws. Y'all can talk about Jay-Z all day long. Jay-Z ain't said nothing about no child marriage laws in America. So there you have it. That's everybody. Bone Thugs ain't talked about no child marriage laws. Who else? You name them all. KRS-One always talking in philosophies and worldviews, and I'm here talking about everything. I'm the teacher. Teacher didn't talk about no child marriage laws, did he? Did he? Did he? He didn't talk about it, did he? KRS-One didn't talk about it, did he? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. Come on, man. Stop playing with me, man. Hey, listen, man, that's what I'm trying to show you. This ain't no game. Ain't nobody did it. You go through the list. That's why it's like the Twilight Zone for me. Can you imagine being in my shoes? You realize as a prophet, oh, wow. The whole country in deception. I mean, literally. Like, underwater. Like, I'm the only one over here. That's like the Twilight Zone. I ain't tripping off these little dumb gang stalkers. I'm tripping off of us marrying children in America. Well, you know what I mean when I say us. I ain't got no part of it. And nobody know about it. That's what I'm tripping off of. Compton didn't tell you about child marriage laws, did it? Compton, California, they tell you about child marriage laws. Listen, I'm sliding on whole communities. Brooklyn told you about child marriage laws. Harlem told you. Harlem told you. Huh? Chicago didn't tell you about child marriage laws, did it? Detroit and the Midwest didn't tell you about child marriage laws, did it? Down south, did they tell you? Miami told you about child marriage laws? No. They ain't tell you, did they? Did Texas tell you about child marriage laws? No, they did not. Huh? Who else? Who else left? Nobody's left. That's how you do it, buddy. Bronx didn't tell you about Boogie Down Bronx didn't tell you about child marriage laws, did it? Come on, stop playing with me. All them kids up there, y'all didn't know nothing about child marriage laws in America. Come on, man. It's a massacre, man. Don't you see? The 5 boroughs didn't even say nothing. Y'all had child marriage laws in America. Charlotte can't talk. Charlotte still got child marriage laws. North Carolina still got child marriage laws. Oh, you thought they had me? Oh, the same state that marrying children, Charlotte marrying children. They got children and beef stew down there, don't they? Yeah, we got beef stew and the children now, marrying children, beef stew. I put my beef stew over my mashed potatoes. Beef stew and child marriage. North Carolina got beef stew over mashed potatoes and child marriage, don't they? So Charlotte, how you feel now that I'm on top? How you feel? Yeah, sucker. The rapper The Baby, did he tell you about child marriage laws? No, he didn't. No, he didn't. The Baby didn't tell you about child marriage laws, did he? Jodeci tell you about child marriage laws? Huh? Jodeci didn't tell you about child marriage laws. They from Charlotte too, didn't you? That's 7 hours. Did Jodeci tell you about child marriage laws? North Charlotte told you about child marriage laws. West Charlotte told you about child marriage laws. Huh? Charlotte didn't do nothing, did it? Charlotte still marrying children, ain't they? Huh? Yeah. North Carolina still marrying children, ain't you? You can't see me, buddy. You can't see me. You still marrying children, buddy. Get yourself together. Get yourself together. Try to air me out and you marrying children the whole time. And you can't say it's not true. I can say what you're saying you don't really know nothing about. But you can't say the same thing about me. I don't know what I'm talking about. You marrying children in North Carolina. In fact, you could, back in the day, you could marry a 14-year-old girl in North Carolina, in Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, how you like that, buddy? How you like that? How that feel to you? Main one talking and yapping, all that ignorance. Yeah. At the same time, you're marrying children. Can't be serious. That's the end of you. You still marrying children now. New York tried to get rid of it, but Charlotte didn't. North Carolina still got it. That's why they couldn't say nothing. I hit the ground running as soon as I came down there. Yeah, I made a video as soon as I came down there. Charlotte, I know you ain't talking. I came back as the intelligent messenger, like ODB said on the Tales from the Hood soundtrack. Come back as the positive messenger. I came back as the intelligent, positive messenger. You know what line I'm talking about. I came back to Charlotte as the intelligent messenger. Listen, I came back, I couldn't wait to tell you. Sitting up here marrying children, talking about child molesters. Talking about what people done. Oh, ignorant little bastards. Listen, we found you slacking, lacking, slipping. Slipping and lacking together. What that slacking? Slipping and lacking. What put that together? That's slacking. Charlotte slacking, ain't they? Lacking and slipping. Slipping and lacking. Slacking. Talking about child molesters and marrying children right now. You know how them random old heads be walking around Charlotte with the towels around their neck with the white beaters on? Yeah, right now. They talk like that, don't they? Right now. Right now. You got child marriage right now. Hey, tell all those bonnet wearing dumb black women, y'all marrying children. I hate them bonnets. It looks so ignorant and ugly. All them bonnet wearing black women went marrying children. Y'all marrying children in America. Sitting up here talking like you head honchos. All these bonnet wearing black women acting like they head honcho. Listen, buddy, you marrying children. You can't speak on me, sucker. Yeah, you should have knew I was gonna get you. Sitting around wearing them bonnets like you a gangster. Looking ridiculous. I never liked it from day one. I never liked the bonnets. I don't care how cute the girl face is. I don't like it. It's just so ugly. You can't no woman be cute in them, to me. I don't care how you look. It's just ratchet. It's just funky. It looks funky. It's something that'll never catch on. It's something that'll never catch on with me, buddy. All these charlatans wearing these ugly bonnets. All them charlatans getting them, hey, you gonna have them under the tree, ain't you? Hey, these charlatans gonna have bonnets under the tree. That's a 7th hour. You gonna have them bonnets under the tree. Well, I got a black one. Your grandma talking about, I got a black one. She always wearing that nasty one that stank too. She wearing that same old funky bonnet all the time. I thought I'd just decide to buy her 2 or 3 of them so she can switch up a little bit. And your auntie done bought you one too. Well, I bought her one too. Yeah, I can't believe that. We down here, we done bought her. She got 5 bonnets. Now, she ain't got no business wearing that same red, pink bonnet that's funky. She done funked and stanked it up. It's funky. You can't tell her nothing. I already done told her it stank and she act like she don't care about it. Wearing that same old stinking funky bonnet trying to smash on the profit. You's a flea. I'm gonna tell you like Snoop said, you's a flea. You's a flea. Wearing that same old funky bonnet. Can't be serious.